Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is raining. It is pouring. I've done an OF shoot. I've recorded Ultimatum. We're here for the live. Guys, I've done too much and yet not enough. So we're here. We're queer. Get ready. We're watching an award episode today for Streamies. Not sure how I feel about that. Shout out to chat. Thank you so much for the compliments. Appreciate it. Here we go. Are we ready? Ooh, girl, it has been storming and raining all day today. So it's one of those days, it's one of those days. All right. Let's get cozy. And just to recap, last episode, Dr. Drew came on and gave the personality tests. And then we took our own test at the end of stream. And now they're going into their version of the Streamies, because you know how they talked about how it's like BS and they don't like it and so on. So that's what we're gonna go over today. Ooh, chat says good fibro day ? It was a good fibro day. Yeah. I got a little 5-minute yoga session in, did some arm exercises. I feel pretty good today. Today's not too shabby. I'm running on momentum, so I'm trying to utilize that, to get as much done as possible. When you get those like momentum days, you try to just like write it all the way to get as much done as possible. I'm sure I will regret it tomorrow. But for now, feeling pretty good. Yeah. I hope you guys had a good weekend. The Discord, we had a great weekend. And just a reminder, we're coming to the close of our book club. So if you guys would like to join us for the next event we do, we're either going to do a watch event or book club event, depending on how the Discord votes. We'll start that the last weekend, the last Sunday of February into March. So we'll see how that goes. That says, does fibro feel like your legs feel tired? Fibro makes me feel like everything is in pain. Like right now I can feel it in my arms. And I did work out yesterday, so my legs are actually healing from yesterday's workout. I felt like a strain in my leg. I can feel my leg. Like I know I worked out my calves yesterday. Fibro just makes me feel like I'm always in pain. So I'm always like a solid 4 on the pain scale. But that's like a good fibro day. A good fibro day is you're only a 4 on the pain scale. That's pretty good. At 4 to 10. A bad fibro day is like a 7 or above. So that's kind of how I gauge it. Like I can feel it right now in my arms. Like I can feel this, like in my elbows, especially, I can feel like a humming. It's like a humming pain, Hey, what are you going to do? It is what it is. Huh? It is what it is. All right. You guys ready to get started? I'm very excited. Chat says this is specifically somewhere or the pain can be anywhere. Well, from my understanding of most people's relationship with fibro, it's everywhere. I don't know anyone who doesn't have the fibro pain everywhere, but usually it can, like for me, it shows up the most in my arms. The most frustrating relationship can be my legs if I'm sitting for too long. But, I should make more fibro focused content, though I don't feel like I'm the wisest person to speak about it, but I would love to see more fibro content. There's not a lot on the internet, funny enough, wondering if it was just joints or muscles. Well, it is joints. Like I have an incredible amount of joint pain, sciatica pinches. My nerves feel like they're always on fire. I think from my understanding of this is why I don't want to speak to it because I'm not sure. But from my understanding of what the doctor said about the fibro, it's like, because they don't know yet. Usually it's a symptom of something else, but it's like my brain is sending pain signals to my body, but my body isn't necessarily in that pain, but my brain is reading it like it is in that pain. So I'm feeling like I'm in a lot of pain, but it's not like someone's hitting me or something. It's not like somebody is like abusing me and I'm feeling the brunt of it. So like right now I can feel like my elbows are in pain. Like I went on a walk last night at nighttime and it felt like I got punched in the face because cold also irritates fibromyalgia. So my face was in excruciating pain, like my jaw, it literally felt like someone hit me. But nobody hit me. And I went on this walk thinking I could do it. And it was an intense walk. And I was like, man, it was a short walk, but uphill, Croatia's all about them hills. So I was doing this like really big incline walk yesterday. and the wind was freezing cold, it's storming, and it hit me, and I was just like, oh my God. And it's that kind of stuff that's so different that I wouldn't have felt before. I would never feel like, I've always been sensitive to the cold, but I never would have thought like, oh, it felt like someone hit me in the face. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my experience of it so far, at least. Yeah. My fibro was triggered by TMJ, and it spreads to my whole body at times. Yeah. I will say I also I have so many bad habits that kind of make everything feel worse. Like I grind my teeth at night. It's the worst thing in the whole world. I wake up and my jaw is in so much pain. I got to get me one of those retainer things, whatever they're called, mouth guards. So I do grind my teeth. Working out has helped immensely, right? Kat says, how do you manage work and balance and chronic pain? I'm going to make a podcast about that. Maybe that can be next week's. I have so many ideas. It just depends on which one I feel like doing at the time. But it's very different than managing anything else because it gives me brain fog as well. Like I get really tired and then I'm kind of just like, I can't think very well, which is very interesting. So I'll definitely have a podcast about that maybe next week. Fingers crossed, maybe. Okay. Now, with that said, let's get started because I don't want to run out of spoons. And this is like a almost 2 hour podcast. So let's go ahead and get started with We Made the Only Honest Award Show, introducing the Streamies, Frenemies, number 15.
We're back. It's 2021. People
How's that
thought
volume?
They might not be back in the new year.
I was ready. I'm a new Trish this year. I'm
Really?
happy to see you.
New
I'm
Trish,
happy
new year?
to see the H3 crew, the family. I'm just happy. So there's no drama, no negativity coming from my end. I'm so happy to be here and so blessed and so honored.
Oh, thank you.
H3's killing it. The podcast is killing it. I'm really excited to be part of this family, for real.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a new year.
I'm so excited.
You know what? I'm really excited to be back. I'm happy to see you.
Yeah.
I love the show we do. It's awesome. I mean, look at what we brought here together.
This is amazing.
You look amazing. Let me just say,
you look
amazing.
skinny, too. You lost
You
some
look
weight.
amazing.
I'm afraid to. So I don't know if I lost weight. Trisha always thinks I look skinny.
He looks skinny. He looks definitely like a skinny legend here.
Trisha
No,
always
I don't
thinks.
always. I don't always tell you look skinny.
Have you ever showed up and been like, he looks fat today? Be honest.
I say you look the same. I never think you
Yeah.
look fatter.
Yeah.
But definitely skinnier today.
You're
I
the
can
only
tell.
one that noticed. So God bless you.
I think people don't focus on weight as much as we focus on weight. Like fat people focus more on weight than like other people. To like Ian, you probably look the same.
You're like
no matter what.
RoboCop, but you're like, how RoboCop, when he sees criminals, he like crunches their data. You're like that for fat
I'm
people.
I very like watch what people eat. I'm very just like analytical about all that stuff. But you look good. I know
Thank
you do
you,
by
thank you.
comparison because my shoulders look fatter than yours today, and therefore now I need to lose 10 pounds before next episode.
You think so you measure it by how fat our shoulders look, but you don't usually wear open.
Okay, I won't lie to you. Since we're talking about bodies, trigger warning. I noticed my arms look a little thinner than normal, though of course they might look a little like I kind of always have like I have the mom arms. Look at that. You know what I mean? Which is normal arms. Okay. Because just FYI, a lot of these women get liposuction in their arms. So it's normal. Okay. First, that's important to say out loud. Cause I was wondering, why do these girls still have skinny arms? And it's because they get liposuction. Okay. So I don't have lipo arms, but I was noticing, I was like, oh, is it finally like trimming down a bit? Because I've really struggled to lose weight. Not that I want to lose weight. Sorry. I've been struggled to get lean. I don't know if it's my birth control or if it's my aging or if it's my food, but I've been trying to work on lean. Not because I want my muscles to show. Okay. Not FKA Twigs lean, but girl, her muscles look so good. And, I've been focusing on getting lean and I noticed that I'm still struggling to shed fat the way I used to. And I don't know if I'm getting old. I don't know what's happening. It could just be my birth control, but I was like, do I see a little bit? I don't know. Who knows? It's like you want to be big and you want to be small at the same time. Like I literally want to get huge, but I also want to get like muscular lean. It's all very confusing, but it's a journey anyways.
Shoulder outfits.
I do, and I'm usually tanner, so I'm kind of like pale, which makes it look fatter. I just need to be like this. Yeah. I just gained weight. I just been eating donuts at McDonald's every day, so.
Dude, you're living your best life.
I'm living my best life for sure.
I mean, like sometimes I wonder. Look, I'm just gonna make a decision to kill myself by eating McDonald's and die young and go out doing what I love.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like killing yourself. People say that.
Well,
like,
it is.
It's not killing yourself. That we're all killing ourselves by like existing in the world of COVID. Like we're killing ourselves every day.
I mean, we're killing ourselves. The moment right? There's a decline that naturally happens past a certain age. It's not exactly out of the womb, but you do start to decline in general. This is a great ethical question, and I love this question. But I think that I need to make graphs. I need to learn how to make graphs because I want to talk about harm reduction in this way where you're going to die. Like you can't stop it, right? Like you can't stop death. So it's not wrong for you to, quote, contribute to your death. I think it's just a matter of how you feel about it. Like I'm personally indifferent to people like smoking and stuff like that. I think you can make that decision if you want to. But I think we need to have conversations about, do you know the repercussions of your actions, or do you think you're just like not going to be the one that gets impacted? I think if we all lived life with this realization that we're probably not going to be impacted, but could be impacted and maybe will be impacted, we'd make different decisions. Because obviously nobody would drive a car if they always thought they were going to be the one who got killed today, right? Nobody would like do anything if we actually thought we would be the ones. We just don't think we're going to be the ones because statistically you probably won't be. But it is one of those things where I think it's a good conversation to have. Is she killing herself eating McDonald's? She's definitely contributing to a shorter lifespan. But like, is there some ethical issue with that realistically? I don't know. I don't think so.
Day by leaving the house. Like,
Yeah, but that's true. But by eating more McDonald's, you increase your chance of death sooner, for sure. And you lower your quality of life, too. Because like your thighs rub and you have to hobble around.
that's
and you can't
debatable.
breathe.
My
Quality of life is important to me. I think it's not how long I live. It's the quality of life I have while I'm here. That's important to me for sure.
quality of life is better when I eat McDonald's. I'm so much happier.
Really?
I've been so happy the past
So
3
fuck
weeks.
it. Just be a monster. Just be it. Just do it. Moses, do you care if she gains like a lot of weight? No. That's a bad question. He can't answer that.
But he also like doesn't care. He'll like buy me donuts. I'm like, I'm trying to lose weight, and he
I
like.
feel like
"No."
Moses is like secretly a feeder.
Yeah, for sure. He always is buying me donuts. I'm like, I'm going on a diet tomorrow, and he's like, got some donuts for you. I was
But
like,
it's nice. I like when Hila feeds me. Sometimes she forgets. She like forgets for a day because Hila like is kind of, she wants the best for me,
right, yeah, of course.
and so she doesn't enable my eating very much. But sometimes she does, and I'm like, oh, I love you.
What do you
today.
mean? What
who
does that
texted
mean?
me?
What does that mean though? Like enabling your eating?
Like she won't like give me a dirty look because I got a triple cheeseburger with bacon and eggs and fucking dog shit.
That's not enabling. That's just not being disgusted by your eating.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
different.
Sunday she's not disgusted by my
He
eating.
enables my eating. Like we'll have food like 5 minutes away on Postmate, and I'll open a bag of chips, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I'll have some too." Instead of being like, "Oh, we're just about to eat," he's like, "I'll have some of those chips too." Like he's very
Enabling,
much that.
enabling is like bringing home, like you said, like donuts and being like, "Let's go, girl. I need that. I need
No,
more."
he's supportive when I don't want to eat too. He'll get something.
I want to make a podcast too on like grocery shopping because, you know, I watch those videos where it's like food haul. This costs like $500 and it's for like a week of groceries, but like 90% of it's snacks. And I realized like I really grew up in a household that trained me on looking forward to snacks as like a real treat. So I never think of frozen food or snacks. Not that there's anything wrong with frozen vegetables or anything, but I just like I could never afford to eat only frozen food as my meals because like that shit doesn't fill me up. You know what I mean? So I realized that in my household, eating fresh vegetables was always going to be cheaper. Making your own food from scratch was always going to be cheaper than any fast food you could ever make. And then you don't get the negatives from the fast food, which is like the sugar addiction, the crashing, the oil, all that stuff. But I realized like some people literally think it's cheaper to eat fast food. And I'm like, I can't even afford fast food. Even now with my money, I can't justify buying fast food. It's too expensive. Like, I don't know what I'm doing different than other people, but McDonald's is like $36 for the two of us for one meal. And then I'm hungry 4 hours later. So $36, I have a food budget of €50 a week. So for €50 a week, I can feed myself like all of those meals for the full week. And I'm really full and I have leftovers, right? Sometimes I don't even use my full €50 because I don't need it, right? But McDonald's for one meal for two of us is €36. Make it make sense. I don't get it. Like, I don't get how people rationalize the way they do that, but I always think of fast food as something like a huge treat, like once every 6 months or a year, or restaurant food is like very special, maybe once a month, maybe once every 6 months. Like I don't even do it once a month now, but except actually that's a lie. We do go out with his family. We have a family dinner we do once a month. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting the way people talk about like food and the morals behind. I don't think you should be judged for your morals or ethics around like what you eat. I think it's just like there are better tools for you to eat better and for cheaper.
Something gross when I'm like trying not to eat dinner. If I'm trying to like fast, he'll get something like I don't like shawarma or something. I was like, all right, I won't. You know.
Oh, how are you not fat? You're gonna be fat. Yeah, you are.
He did. He got fatter in their marriage, which I think is kind of cute.
Moses is going to get fat as fuck.
Well, that's good. We'll look a little better in pictures. Right now, we're like Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. So I feel like eventually we'll be similar.
Well, Happy New Year's. There's been
Happy New
There's been a
Year.
lot that has happened. First of all, let's explain what we're doing here. My goodness, we're
This was
all
a great idea, by the way, that you
Thank
guys
you.
came up with. Ian did a great set design.
Yeah,
He
they
had
did a
good
great job.
concept. Dan's always amazing.
Hold on, Chet says I've been looking for Whole Foods vegan grocery haul and it feels impossible to do on a budget, but it's also a lot of bulk food items that I get once and just refill every so often. Put that into your budget for next week. That's what I do. So if we buy something in bulk, it goes into next week's budget and we just automatically take it off. But also, like, so many vegans, I'm so sorry, like, they're eating incorrectly, in my opinion, not in a moral sense, but like, don't eat the fake meats, don't eat the other stuff, don't eat anything like processed except for tofu. And it's great. Like, it's very doable. I think people just don't know how to cook. And so to be fair, if you don't know how to cook, it's much easier to get pre-made stuff. But I do think that's the huge part of fast food and why it works for people. It's like people don't know how to cook and they don't enjoy cooking and they don't look forward to it. And it's not a serious budget item. But if you're serious about a budget and you're serious about not overeating and you're serious about being healthy, then there's it's so much better to not just buy the pre-made stuff. In my opinion, like Trader Joe's has all this like vegan food. Like, don't buy it. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't buy it. Don't buy any of the pre-made food. One, it's not worth it. And two, you can be unhealthy and vegan. Like, eat vegetables, eat nuts, eat, like, you know what I mean? It's just depending on your ability though. So like if you're disabled and cooking is really difficult, get like frozen vegetables that are pre-cut, do all of that stuff, right? There are things you can get that are processed, like tofu is semi-processed, right? It's not fully processed, but a lot of the processed foods for vegans they're not any healthier. You know what I mean? So if you're going vegan for health, there's no reason to buy frozen vegan food except for a treat, right? If you're doing it for the animals or the environment, then sure, right? If your health's not a factor.
Like, everyone's amazing here. Like, I love, except for I don't know Zach. I don't like love him, but he lost a lot of weight, so good for him. But I don't know anything about
Zach's
him.
great, but yeah, you don't interact with him.
Yeah, anyways, but we love everyone here.
Except Zach. He's not here.
We're an H3 podcast. We're
Yes.
just separate.
So,
So
what
good
we're
today.
doing here today is we are bringing you not the Streamies, which we all know is a corrupt and ridiculous organization.
They nominate you for the best podcast every year.
Yeah, but it's like such a scam.
Are they? Okay.
Actually, I have been nominated for best podcast like 3 years running, but I go and I never win. It's always like, dude, the last guy who won, I never even heard of, but okay, whatever, he could be a big deal. But anyway, it's like, why isn't Joe Rogan on it if they're really that legit?
Oh, well, he's like a conservative, right? Like, it's probably for liberal people.
No, it's not even the same bubble. Like, what do you mean? Why is Joe Rogan not on it? Why would Joe Rogan be invited?
Liberals only? What kind of award show is that?
I think that's every award show in Hollywood.
Huh, interesting. I never thought about that way.
I'm excited for this award show because I'm actually nominated and hosting.
You're nominated several times, I think. But anyway, what we have here today is the Steamies, as if drinking the piping hot steamy
Oh, I
tea.
thought it was like a steamy dump.
Yeah. That also went through my
Right?
head. You can think of it either way. It's a steamy dump. It's a steamy tea. What it is the real award show of 2020 that you wish was here, but the Streamies are too much cowards to actually cover what matters.
Yeah, it's like the worst of the worst. We're like rewarding people for being problematic, for keeping us entertained, for keeping us a job. Like, we wouldn't have
Are they talking about themselves?
the headlines without
We
the
wouldn't be
people
here
nominated.
without you folks.
Yeah.
The Steamies. We need a theme song. The Steamies. Bringing you
okay.
the steaming turds of 2020. Yeah.
That's good. That was
Thank
good.
you.
And as always, well, not as always, but today we have a sponsor for our Steamy Awards.
Oh, yeah, I
Proud
forgot.
sponsor of the Steamies.
Yeah.
P.S. Just to present day Ethan, like this Ethan who's alive right now. Apparently he's got COVID, which sucks, but he's going to put out his Hassan video sometime this week, maybe. So we'll be taking a break from Frenemies to watch that whenever that comes out. I highly doubt he has anything on Hassan. I just don't believe it. I just can't. I just don't believe it. I feel like, no offense, like you guys, like people keep going for Hassan's record, and there's plenty of reasons that I, as a truly progressive gender deconstructionist, refuses to engage with Hassan's streaming behavior as a man and a misogynist, because all men are misogynists. But even I highly doubt that Ethan has anything on Hassan. I'm sorry. After all these years, the most you have on him is that he was a frat boy and a misogynist. Great. He's a man. I don't know what you expected. But also very curious to see what there is. So he says it's still coming out. So just FYI.
Yeah.
Is adamandeve.com.
Adam and Eve. Who?
Code H3 for 50% off plus free shipping.
Wait, we're not doing the ad. We're just giving
Okay,
a
well,
shout out.
shout out Adam and Eve.
We'll do that later. Shout out Adam and Eve.
They're the sponsor of the Steamies. Maybe they'll do it every year for us. Why are they our only sponsor?
We're working on it. I moved to a new agency.
Rip. Maybe they'll do it every year for us. How many streamies do they even get to? One, right? They never got to a second streamies because the frenemies killed itself, right?
And they're working on it.
Okay. Anyways, we love that.
You know what's the problem with getting sponsors on this show is because usually what they do is they buy like a year worth.
Oh.
And the thing is, they're like, your show could end anytime.
I don't think that's a possibility anymore. I'm here to the end with you, like
To the end.
until like you fire me or something. People usually know me, so
Oh, this is so much sadder when you know what's coming.
I'm
Really?
here
You're
to-
clinged on?
I'm clinged on. Once
Okay.
I'm in, I'm in.
Good to
and
know.
now I'm in the family, so we're gonna be together.
Oh my God! Wait,
forever.
let me see. So that's another thing. Hold on. There's way too much to talk about.
I know.
Let me get.
We gotta get into the award show too. Oh,
So, Moses, what was this like? $10 million? I mean, I've never seen a diamond like that in my life.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
But like, that's ridiculous. Like, let me actually get it. Like, what? How many carats is that?
9.
How can you? Who are you? Why are you buying 9-carat rings? I mean, what? Seriously?
I think you know what's so great, and I've said this before. And I'll
It's
say
a
it
real
again.
diamond, or is it like a zirconium, whatever?
It's real.
There's certificates.
No, I always say this, like, don't judge people based on where they live or anything like that, because like if I would have judged Moses from like our first meeting, him in this like little tiny makeshift apartment in like this like building in like the ghetto, I would have been like, okay. But he saved his money. He never buys anything.
9 carats, bro. Did you know this motherfucker could buy a 9-carat diamond ring?
I don't know what that
I
means.
felt bad when I saw it. I was like, like,
Googling.
he had plans to like renovate his building. And,
Not
like,
anymore.
And I'm like, I'm sorry that you took your renovation
Holy
money.
shit.
But you know what it says to me? It says he's invested in our relationship, because you know people
Yeah.
are like, he's using Trish for money, and I was like, you know what?
It's 6 figures. Trisha ring cost. Trisha paid his. Trisha paid his ring cost. A 9-carat okay quality could cost $20K, or it could be $250K. Okay.
What? He put
You know, I just saw a TikTok that said, whose idea was it to put a car's worth of jewelry on a woman's finger just so she'll lose it in her house? And it's so true. Like, I don't know where we got off thinking we should put thousands of dollars on a ring when, like, see, I just feel like my partner and I, we bought our ring. So I bought like his, he bought mine, we exchanged rings, whatever. And we have the same rings, which is so cute. I love that for us. And we literally have the same rings. I love it. Anyways, we're not going to die if these get lost, right? Like, we like them and they're pretty, but like, you know what I mean? We didn't spend thousands of dollars on them. Like, it just like, I can't even imagine it. You know what I mean? Spending like $25,000 on a freaking ring. But then these people are millionaires, to be fair. So to them, it's not a big deal. And by the way, I like the way jewelry looks. For the record, I think it's beautiful because it's shiny, and I like anything shiny, period. But it, you know, I don't know how I could justify spending that much money on something like that. Mostly because I don't know. I'm not rich, so maybe it'd be different if I was rich. But I just couldn't imagine spending $50K on a ring when I could like donate that money to charity or give it to somebody or like pay for someone's college. Do you know what I mean? Like, money is money. You know, it could always go to like helping the world or helping like I don't know. I don't think my values, I would buy a lot of jewelry, but I wouldn't buy one item for $50,000, you know? That'd be, I mean, no judgment, I guess.
put half for the house. He invested in this ring for me.
That's a nice, yeah.
That's my, you know, it's like the dream.
That is insane.
Yeah, he's very, yeah. Get you a guy that doesn't spend money on himself. That's the motto of that.
Elo kind
Wow.
of did that to me.
Really?
I think so.
Because you're kind of like conservative with your money.
I just, no, it's not
You
that
don't
I'm
care.
cheap. I just don't want to buy stuff.
Oh, that's like a dream for like, honestly, yeah. Because if you like to shop, you can't have two shoppers in the family. So
God forbid, 2 shoppers. Nobody
So
could
great.
survive in that.
yeah. Anyway, no.
So
we're in
you're
the family.
engaged, by the way, which
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. But first, let me talk. We have just so
I
much
know,
going on
so
here
much
today.
show, so much show.
We were gone for 2 weeks, and we're getting overwhelmed here. Let's take a step back. I want to, Ian, can you please announce the categories that we'll be celebrating today?
Yeah, you want the first one now?
Now, Ian, as you'll notice, is wearing a space-age COVID mask. Ian had COVID. He's recently got over it. He doesn't have COVID. He
Oh.
tested negative. You had COVID like, how long ago did you?
It was
get your-
a little over a month ago when I got the diagnosis.
Whoa.
He's good, but he was really sick for a while.
Oh.
And so we put on the space-age helmet, not because he's actually contagious, but just because I thought it would be funny.
I don't believe that. I feel like you think he might still be contagious, so you're like, put a helmet on Ian, and we'll make it part of the show.
Well, the truth is, this is some weird GoFundMe that we bought like
7 months ago.
like 7 months ago for like $250. It's so ghetto. It's supposed to have like a fan with a battery that doesn't work. Show them the gloves.
The glove
they have
glove.
they have gloves so you can itch your face. It's just yeah, itch your face for us, Ian.
Whoa.
It's hard to see because it's so glossy. Well, put your hand in the glove.
Wait. Chet's saying, wasn't Tana drunk at the event? She's saying she wasn't. If that wasn't drunk, it was something. And if not, rude. I mean, it was rude already. That's kind of shocking. I don't know. I didn't watch it all the way, so maybe I misread her body language, but
Go ahead.
That looks cool.
Is this not the best award show, folks? I mean, we're pulling all this stuff.
That's amazing.
All right, Ian's trying his best to get his hand in that glove, but it's not. It doesn't appear to be too easy.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Wow, what a
Wow,
stunt.
that was so
Only
cool.
here on the 2020 Steamies, everybody.
You know, this is meant to prevent you from getting sick, but it's like a COVID simulator. I feel like I still have it.
Really?
Like I can't breathe. I'm tired.
It's
Oh.
hot. You have a fever.
You want the first?
Yeah, please. What categories do we have here today that we're celebrating? Please, Ian, go ahead.
All right. We've got a little presentation to show each one. So
okay, let me
They
see.
did this in 3 days. The H3 crew did this in 3 days. It's amazing.
Whoa.
Wow, Trisha being all optimistic and stuff. This is like when BoJack season 2 has his like, I'm happy now. I'm positive. I'm a positive guy now. And yes, I did film Ultimatum episode today, so I'll have that out tomorrow. And then I'm just gonna go back and forth between BoJack and Ultimatum because you guys, I'm trying to figure out this way to make content without running out of spoons, but I want to do it. So just like, it's coming. I feel bad because it's taking me forever to get it done, but I just want you to know I want to do it. I'm just fighting my spoons. I can only do so much every day, but it's coming. But doesn't that remind you of BoJack season 2, episode 1, where he's like, I'm positive. I love everyone. Everything's great. And I'm like, sir, slow down, Trisha.
No, we've been working on this.
No,
for a
he
while.
said Saturday he put
No.
these videos together.
We've been planning it for a while, but the crew did great. I mean, all praise be to the crew.
This is amazing.
Go ahead. Oh, we're going to do the categories? God, I just, there's so much to talk about. So wait, let's talk about your engagement before we do
I
it.
thought we should do this category. Okay.
Oh my God, everyone's like, what is this show? It's such a mess.
Because we have so much to talk
Okay,
about.
so tell me, how did Moses propose to you?
I definitely wasn't expecting it because I was dressed as, oh my God. People thought I was like in blackface that day because we had a shoot planned from
Oh, was that the Jasmine thing?
Yeah, but also we were dressed as Jasmine Jafar, which is like the
Oh,
bad
God.
guy in the movie, and she's like a slave to him in that outfit.
Oh, I thought you were Aladdin.
No, but I
You guys do daddy dom shit? You do, huh?
But
Are you submissive or dominant?
No, of course I'm submissive.
Oh,
He's
you are.
Abba, I'm Tinoch.
What?
Tinoch.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Anyways, no, it definitely.
Abba's
What?
daddy or
Oh.
dad in Hebrew.
And Tinoch is baby girl.
Oh.
Gross.
Anyways, so yeah, I had this shoot planned for a while, and I just got a really crazy spray tan the day before, and so I don't know. I guess he just knew that I wanted to be glam, so he thought me as Princess Jasmine was like my glam, but that was actually a cosplay. That's not me
Oh,
glam.
so were you a little upset that he proposed then?
No, I definitely wasn't upset. I was so excited. I just was like, as
You're
soon
like,
as he was
not
doing
now.
it, I was like, wait. I had a fat belly. My belly was out. I was like, oh my God, he's putting me to the side, and I have a fat belly, and I'm just like,
Wait, that is so funny. Actually, I remember him proposing, but now it's so much funnier that he proposed to her while she was dressed up as Princess Jasmine. Wait. Why is that so much funnier? I don't like surprise proposals. This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't. Girl.
oh no, and my nails were broken because I had video shoots the day before, so my nails were like short.
But you didn't know that he was going to propose.
No, I would have my nails done. Like
Yeah.
I was,
The video was really nice.
yeah.
I wonder if we should watch it.
It was really sweet.
I don't know how many people have seen it. It was really beautiful. You were
Yeah.
you were so very happy, and it was a very joyous video.
I was very shocked for like so many reasons. One, we just got this house, so I literally did not think he was gonna like, get a ring. Like that was the commitment for me. So I was like, we probably won't have a ring for a couple months. Maybe it's not even our 1 year anniversary yet. So I'm like, maybe our 1 year anniversary, like March 5th, like 14th, and
Oh, you guys will be together for a year in March?
Yeah, we met
Wow,
March 14th.
time. That's crazy.
so I just wasn't expecting it. But I was really happy. Like the first thing he said too was like, I called your dad, which was so crazy because like who thinks to call like my dad? And my
That's
dad was
pretty
so
classic.
happy. Not any guy. Any guy I've dated has met my dad once, only once. Moses has met him a multitude of times. They talk all the time. Like he loves Moses. Like, and he said they talked for like an hour. And
Really? Wow. Look
he's
at
like,
that.
my dad. I called your dad. I was like, how'd you get his number? Like, anyways, it's so complicated. And then he was like, he said he's so happy and blah blah. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then I was like crying because of that. And then I was crying because he was proposing. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
And then what about when you saw the ring?
Oh my God, I lost it. I mean, that was to me like I think this is why I'm so happy. Like nothing bothers me with him anymore. I'm just like
The ring.
"Aw."
You're like, dude, whatever. Whatever is wrong with you, just talk to the ring.
I can't believe
Holy
this.
shit,
I like we looked up like J-Lo's to Ben
You
Affleck.
get a mortgage on your place?
Become a diamond broker.
He became a diamond broker. He went to it's a blood diamond? Probably.
No, no, but like honestly, like I look at it, like we looked at J-Lo and Ben Affleck's like ring, and it was only like 5 or 6 carats, and this is like a 9
Oh,
carat.
losers, idiots.
No halo either, because
Pathetic.
I always no shade to anyone who has a halo, but I'm like, oh, I hate like engagement rings with halos. I thought he might get
Wait, what's a halo?
the halo is
Yeah.
like the little diamonds around it to
Oh,
make it a little
pathetic.
bigger.
Pathetic.
It's not pathetic.
It's cheap,
but,
plebeian bullshit.
No, but can I just tell you, like he designed it, but I had shown him like a dream ring of mine that looked just like this. And when I saw that and I showed him maybe once. So like the fact that he remembered like one time when I was probably like high or something. I was just like, wow, that was really cool. Because it's forever, and it fit my fat fingers. He's so smart because he always listened to me. I'd go into like stores and try on rings, and they would never have my size, and they would like measure. And
Way to go, Moses.
so,
Well, I got to say that I am very happy. I'm very excited. It's so crazy that you're going to be my sister-in-law.
I know we're like actually family now. That's so crazy. And you're invited to the wedding. We already planned the wedding dates. I won't say the dates, but we already have them planned. Like
That's so
already
weird.
set. Yeah.
Oh, you have a date?
Yeah, like we have 3 because we have LA, Israel, and Maui for real. So
Oh
we
my
have the 3
God.
dates.
Why Maui?
Because he's never been, and we watched an Adam Sandler movie called Just Go With It, and he got married at this hotel in Hawaii, and so now I want to get married there too.
Wow.
But who's going to go to Maui?
Like our family, like you guys, the immediate.
She has such an interesting, like she lives, but I remember doing this. I think that's why I think Trisha's autistic sometimes. When I was younger, I would, and my friends would do it too. Like we went laser tag. We played laser tag in Suits because that's what Barney did from How I Met Your Mother, right? Like we had a How I Met Your Mother laser tag night. Right? You know how you dress up like your favorite TV show characters and go do something fun for a night? Maybe you don't know. I did that in my early 20s with my friends. It was a great night. There's a very nice memory of mine that I have to this day. I think it's just like a very nice memory, right? Trisha does it for everything in her life now. Like I stopped doing that eventually. Not that you have to stop doing it, but I did eventually like stop living my life through my favorite characters and started just like living my life. It feels like Trisha still lives her life through her favorite characters. Like Adam Sandler got married in this movie. And so I have to go get married at this hotel because in this movie, Adam Sandler got married there. It's like, okay, yeah. Why? And like the fact that she had a Twilight themed wedding and like, that's fine. Like, I don't really want to judge because I know adults have Star Wars themed weddings. It's fine. And look, I used to want to get married at Disneyland until I woke up from the capitalistic hellscape that is Disneyland, right? Nobody look at my Disneyland tattoo. But it's like, okay, the point I'm trying to say is that I do wonder how people get sucked into things. And then you have to realize it's because they're really good at marketing and people are really good at convincing you that if you have this, you'll be happy. If you'll be, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just the weirdest thing for an adult to say, like, I'm going to go get married at this hotel because this character in a movie got married there. Okay. I mean, you do you. No one's getting hurt, you know?
I'll come to Maui.
Well, hopefully no one's getting hurt. A part of me does wonder if psychologically there's something there.
Yeah, it'd be like
I mean, this is the second wedding. This one's bullshit. I was already at 2 of them because I'm gonna have to go to Israel and LA.
right. So LA will be over like.
So I'm gonna have to go to 3 fucking weddings.
Yeah.
2 of them destinations for
Yeah.
you guys. That's
You're
outrageous.
bougie though, like.
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I
but
mean?
who else could do that?
My family.
Really?
Yeah, so we're gonna all
Okay.
be having fun.
Damn,
like
it's
it's gonna
crazy.
be, like it's just gonna be so much fun. Like Shane will probably be like my best man, so like they'll come over. Like it'll be
Oh
like,
my
really-
God.
Yeah, it's gonna be like.
That doesn't happen. Her and Shane have a falling out before the wedding, right? I don't remember Shane Dawson at her wedding. I can't remember.
Because we'll probably get like married in like Jaffa, which is like the old like city, and we're gonna have like Aladdin and Jasmine themed. Like
Don't fucking
no,
do
no,
that.
no, like white and gold, like pretty, like classy.
Don't do that.
No, no.
Moses, don't allow
They get
that.
married at the end of the
You
movie.
can't go to Jaffa and get married as Jasmine and Aladdin. That's crazy.
It was themed esque. Like
You're not gonna allow that, right?
You don't know what we're talking about. It's like the when they get married at the end, they have white and gold outfits, and it's inspired by that. It's not like Aladdin and
You're not
Jasmine
gonna be in
cosplay.
tan face.
No, I'm not gonna be in black
Okay.
hair. Like,
All right. Well, I did want to read. There was one congratulatory tweet that I thought was funny
oh no.
that I thought wanted to read right up the top. Keemstar had a congratulatory.
Both YouTube comments and Discord comments are saying that it has something to do with her lack of a solid identity, for sure. Absolutely, right? Like that's a journey people have to go on. But I think it's good for you to relate it to yourself as well. You know, what part of your life is chosen because you actually like something, and what part of you chooses it because your favorite character did or because your bubble is telling you to do it. I mean, what's really the difference between your family pressuring you to do something their way and you doing it because your favorite character did it in a TV show? You know, like I always wanted to live in Boston, Massachusetts, because my favorite author had his main character live there. That's where he lived. And then eventually I don't know, just one day I woke up and I was like, oh, that's not even my dream. I've never been to Massachusetts. Well, I've been to Massachusetts now, but you know, then I was like, why did I romanticize this place I'd never been just because one of my favorite book characters lived there? Because you just do. And then one day I just woke up and I stopped doing that. Like I stopped wanting to do something because I read it in a book. But there's nothing really wrong with being inspired by art that makes you want to go and be somewhere. I just think it's important to remember that you're not this character. That your life should be its own and it shouldn't necessarily be a carbon copy of something you watched or read.
Congratulations for both of us.
How sweet.
He said Ethan Klein. He misspelled my name.
You done?
My last name, Klien. For someone who's thinking about me on oh, by the way, he sent this tweet on Christmas morning. Not because he's on the East Coast, so he sent this tweet at 12 o'clock Christmas Day with his family. He's sitting around drinking eggnog. The fire's crackling. He's with his daughter, and he goes, he's like, Ethan Klein.
How weird to like make my proposal like about you.
It's okay. Ethan's sitting in his house. The fire's coming. It's about to burn down. And he's like, oh, Hassan, I got a tweet about Hassan.
You then to
Yeah.
also like tweet that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of weird, but
He goes, Ethan Klein has had the worst year ever. One, he lost subs. I don't know what he's talking about with that.
on H3, I
Excuse
feel
me.
like you guys gained subs on here.
Yeah, we had a great year. Lost sponsors.
It's okay.
That's true. True. Lost respect. I mean, we could debate that.
Can't lose what you don't have.
Thank you, Dan. Well said. Gained weight. True.
Lost weight. No, now you.
Well, overall, I did gain a lot of weight. But I think it's funny for him to attack me on that because, like, I'm started antidepressants and I'm working on all this stuff. And you gain a lot of weight when you take antidepressants, or some people do. My fat ass did.
He's also super fat and short. So.
Yeah, he's fat, chain smoking freak.
When I went for him, I came for his fatness. Like fat people can go for his fatness. I'm like, you're also a fat.
Take it from
little
one
girl.
fat idiot from another. You're
You're
a fat
fat.
fuck. And then the perfect number 5 was now Trisha Paytas is his.
I'm laughing because of the way they say things. I think most of the time what I find funny is how people say things. But I saw this great video essay today. I forget the girl who makes those videos, but she just put out one about Fresh and Fit and how it ended. And she said that Nick Fuentes does this thing where he uses like humor to confuse everybody about when he's being serious. And that's so true. And then sometimes I'm not saying Ethan and Trisha are doing that, right? They're not using humor to disguise their like white supremacist propaganda. But it's like the way they say certain things makes me laugh more than what they're saying. And I notice that a lot of my humor is that way, even like in my life, where it's like how I'm saying things, I think is so much funnier than what I'm saying.
Sister-in-law. I legitimately feel sorry for him.
He's so jealous. He's so jealous of that.
Dude, Keemstar would castrate himself for a chance to be with you. I get a feeling.
Stop.
No, for sure. I've met him at parties. He's definitely like, I know
hit
he'll
on
deny
you?
it, like, you're so gross, but like, people always say that, and then they always try and like fuck you, and you're like, okay.
Oh.
Well, there's a reason why you think every dude who you ever meet wants to fuck you. I think this dude likes Keemstar.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And you know what they do when you like reject it, and then they're like, oh, she's so gross. What are you talking
Just
about? I like
kidding.
want to fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
or I would never fuck her. It's like they say that when they get rejected. So like that's how you know. Otherwise, people would never say
I
that.
do feel like Keemstar legit wants to fuck you.
for sure, because
Yeah.
a normal guy that like doesn't want to fuck me or not attracted to me would never be like, she's such a ugly bitch. Like only guys who like got rejected say that. No like normal guys says
Right.
you know?
Right. So wait, let me go. Oh, fucking dumbass phone. Apple.
Like Logan Paul would never be like, Trisha's a fat ugly bitch, because he's like, I obviously
like-
would never fuck that girl because
Right.
we're in different leagues. But Keem is so like mad that I've like rejected him. And
So you rejected Keemstar?
for sure, he's definitely been like weird at parties. Like I wouldn't say like
Tell me everything.
I've actually only met him like twice in person, and yeah, and I think it was just I don't know. I think he's.
What did he say?
I honestly can't remember because I was with my ex-boyfriend at the time.
Tell me about. So
honestly.
you were together with somebody, and Keemstar
Yeah.
came up to you at a party. Was he drunk?
I think so.
And what did he say? What was his demeanor? You just give me details as much as you can
I
remember.
can't really because I don't want to get it like off. Like I don't want to miss anything.
Well, he's gonna call you a liar anyway. So care. Say whatever you
I
want.
know, but I try and be credible. I'm a new Trish. Like I'm trying to get out of jail.
Credible.
I'm a new girl. I'm a new woman. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm engaged. I'm happy. Just I don't know. Just I feel like he's very touchy with people. I saw him touchy with like Alyssa
Ew.
Violet, and he's very just touchy.
Ew.
And like with me,
Can you
he's
imagine
touchy, and
Keemstar touching you? I feel like you would like. I feel like your arm would turn black wherever he touched you.
he was fine. He's just really unattractive in person, and that's it. I mean, there's no shade. I'm not the most attractive person.
What?
You know, but
Well, anyway, he said, Ethan, if you see this, I hope you have a much better 2021. And I'll say that the fact that my brother-in-law and Trisha are engaged is a great way to start the year.
Wow.
I love you both, and I'm just very happy and excited for the future that you guys hold. So
Whoppa!
congratulations. Moses,
Wait.
great job. And you pulled out all this stuff.
I think that's Greek. That's not Jewish. Mazel tov.
Ops, goddamn, dude.
God,
You
so-
know how I proposed to Hila?
how?
Not as good as this motherfucker.
What'd you do?
It's so embarrassing. You're going to get mad at me if I tell you.
No, tell me.
No,
I need to
tell
know
me.
this.
We were in Mexico. My parents lived there.
Cute.
And I was always planning to get married to Hila, but I was with my mom, which staying with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom starts being so annoying. She goes, you have to propose to her. You have to get married now. And she starts like putting all this crazy pressure on me. And she gives me like one of her how did I succumb to this?
Why would she get you to get married? You're so young.
Well, we had been together for a while. I don't know why. But
Oh.
anyway, like we had already been together for like 4 years or something.
So she's like, you better keep her or she'll like leave you, which I can't feel
My mom was like, yeah, that was what my mom was like. She's going to leave you. I was like,
She
"Stop."
wouldn't, yeah.
And so, dude, honestly, how do I even tell this without
What? You were on the toilet?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What? You or her?
So I took the ring that my mom gave me. I put it in a bag of baby wipes,
What?
and I put it by the bed, and I was on the toilet pretending to poop, and I said, "Hila, can you grab me the baby wipes?"
No.
And then
Oh, this is cute. Really? Is this real?
that's cute.
This is cute. That's very you.
Yeah, it was. And so I said, "Can you grab me the baby wipes?" So she brought the bag of baby wipes over, and I said, "Can you pull one out for me?" And the ring was in the bag of baby wipes.
No.
I don't know what to do with that information. I don't know what to do with that information. You know what? I'm so happy for them because they're obviously so in love. Like, they're obviously so in love that she must have thought it was so funny. Like, she must have thought it was so obviously cute.
Yeah.
Was she so excited?
She was stoked. I mean, like, we talked about it. She knew we were gonna get married, but she
Right.
was most like, I think she was like
A little
confused.
Yeah. Were you guys doing videos already?
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah, you should have done something more creative. You put effort into your videos.
That
back
wasn't
then.
the vibe though. Back then, it wasn't the vibe to be like cute. It was all just like,
You want to be gross.
yes.
Okay.
No, I didn't film it or anything. That was just, I just decided in the moment, like, I'm going to propose to Hila, and I'm just going to try to make a joke. Maybe she'll, because it's the last thing she's going to expect is a ring in the bag
That's
of baby
true.
wipes.
Yeah. And so what happened then? Did you guys take pictures? Like, did they come in, your parents, and like take pictures? And
No.
guys? There's nothing to commemorate it. Other than
Nothing.
the ring.
Nope. I don't have a. Nope. We proposed to each other in private. No witnesses, just us. And nope, it was not a family event. It was us together making the decision as a unit to form our own family. So he certainly didn't call my father. I didn't ask permission. I told my family I'm getting married. I asked one of my brothers to double check. I was like, just make sure, call me out if I'm doing something silly and you see it. But my partner passed the family test. They passed with flying colors, you know, especially with the brothers. Well, they didn't meet my sister yet, to be fair, or my parents, but my brothers, who really are, that's really who you got to pass the test. Farm brother, you really got to pass that test. Pass with flying colors, let me tell you.
There's nothing.
How much was the ring? Or how many carats was the ring?
The ring was trash.
Did you upgrade since?
So Hila, she bought an engagement ring when we were in Mexico for like, it's just a really sweet, cute little ring. It was only like $100.
Wait, you didn't pick out the ring?
We went and picked it out together.
But then you got it and surprised her.
No, we bought it on the spot.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
And how many carats?
Carrots, like $100 ring.
Oh, it was $100.
Yeah.
And you never upgraded?
Never
That's cute though. I think that's cute. I think
I
that's
like the
nice.
ring. It's just
Yeah.
like a little red stone and a gold band.
Oh, but that's like humble.
That's cute. They've been together a long time. They're kind of like, they already discussed it. They knew where they were getting married. Like, we did white gold bands so we could make them really easy. And they became our favorite fidget spinners. We play with our rings. They're like the best fidget little rings. They're so perfect. I love them. And they're like really durable and nice. And I cook and I clean in them. I rarely take them off to do anything, but sometimes I take them off, but very rarely. I've yet to, of course, lose one, which is good, but I definitely have dropped them before fidgeting with them. And I'm waiting for one day I'll be fidgeting with them. They'll go off the balcony and just fall. But we spent less than $1,000 for both of our rings, all of our rings. For 4 rings, we spent less than €1,000. So I feel really happy with that. Like, I'm really happy with how much we spent. I'm happy with how they came out. I'm glad I have 2. We decided to get 2 each. I love it. I love having double rings. I do think one day I've never felt comfortable wearing rings in my whole life because I've never had cute nails. I've always had ugly, really bitten nails. But since I've been married, I stopped biting my nails, which is the craziest thing to do. In 30 years of my life, I've always bit my nails down to the bleeding. And now that I've been married, I stopped biting my nails, which is crazy. It's just like absolutely insane. So now that I have nails, I am a little bit more tempted to wear rings. Like, I might get some cute fashion rings maybe because now I have cuter hands. But I really have like hobbit hands, you know? But I think I might get more rings now that I have nails. Who knew? Who knew I would stop biting my nails? It's honestly, I truly am a new person.
We were not rich at the time by any means. And by the way, so far so good, right? I mean, the marriage is working.
That's amazing. And you guys are like balling, which goes to show once again, it's all about showing off your wealth and whatever like that.
And just to be clear, my nails were so bitten to hell on our wedding day that the photographer took a picture of my nails for my wedding day and they looked so horrible. Like I got married with bad nails. I didn't stop biting my nails till after I got married. So like I'm like a year and a half in to not biting my nails. And I bit my nails my whole life, including on my wedding day. I was so anxious. I had the ugliest nails for my wedding. And we did try to get my nails done for the wedding just so they wouldn't look so shitty. But in Croatia, the nail salons are very, very small. So like you have to book weeks in advance for anything, even a basic nail, like even a basic nail appointment. Literally, I'm not even exaggerating. America, it's not like America where you can just walk into a nail place and be like, nails. We walked into like maybe 5 or 6 places and they're like, you have got to book in advance, you know? So yeah.
Like, I feel like I spend way more. Like, people think I'm like richer than I am because I spend so much. And people are like, wow, she's balling. Like, it's like, yeah, I make a lot of money, but I also like spend a lot. You guys have it like in the bank, set for life. Like, that's better.
You would be too if you didn't have like $70,000 burkas.
Right. Well, I won't say it's
Right.
better. You know, I like flashy. I like to live my life because I could die tomorrow. So I like to live my life. But at the same time, there's something to be said about like being humble and saving money. Like, that's cute too.
Thank you. But I will say, once my lease is up on my dog shit Tesla X, I'm getting a Rolls Royce.
Are you?
Well, I don't know. I don't want this weird Rolls Royce life that you have. Like,
Well, mine's
you get into weird. Your life is so weird in that Rolls Royce. It scares me. Anyway,
scary.
so that was that. Congratulations, you guys. I'm so happy, and I'm just I'm very happy. It fills me with joy to see you guys both so happy.
I'm so excited to have you at the wedding. It's like clout.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. We were going to come. I was just going to because we were beefing. I was like, we
That's
can't
not
make
a
it.
joke. Oh my god! And his family was very
Clout?
happy. His whole family was very happy over in Israel. Like everyone. Was
Shane is more clout than us. Shane is like mega wedding clout.
like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we gotta just get the most clout we can.
Okay, you got any clout coming to the wedding?
Clout.
Some water,
He's-
some waves.
He's got some private. He's got some private clout.
Let's go, dude.
He's super cloudy.
No, he's got clouty. If his clout comes, it's gonna be Clout City.
Maybe we need a smaller wedding.
He's got more clout than we do
Well, yeah,
in terms
that's
of
true.
people
Yeah,
he knows.
Moses is bouge.
Excuse me, 9 carats. Okay, so anyway, yada yada yada. You guys got married or proposed. Keem was a douche. Okay, let's do the word show. Sorry, everybody.
Woo! Let's do it. I'm ready.
Adam and Eve. You know, Adam and Eve is the #1 place to buy fun and adventurous. How do you say it without saying it? Fun and adventurous items for
Naughty
him and her.
toys.
Naughty toys.
Adult toys for him and her. And when you use code H3, you can get these naughty toys for 50% off plus free shipping if you're in the US and Canada. And guess what else? You also get toys for him, toys for her. They get thrown some free bonuses, some movies. And that's really cool because I haven't seen that code anywhere else on YouTube where you can get the additional stuff.
You get the movies, you get the treats, you get the smacks, you get the bonuses, and it's all free, folks.
And you might be staying at home, but now you can play at home with Adam and Eve.
Wow.
You can do that with
Whoa.
50% off with the code H3. And honestly, it's really, really good. You guys get the G-Spot vibes. They're going to change your life. They're going to be amazing.
True.
I got something today called the Clit Licker. Look it up on AdamandEve.com.
What?
Amazing. It's cool. It's like a little tongue. It's like a little, I wish I would have brought it. It's like a little triangle
I kind of
tongue.
want to look up a photo of the clit lick.
The Clit Licker. It's turquoise. I showed it, and it's amazing. It's actually, it feels like 5,000 tongues going like 100 miles a minute.
Whoa.
It's
That
like-
sounds bad.
It's like, it's like
What was it called? The clit
the
licker?
Clit Licker from AdamandEve.com. It's teal. They have lingerie also that goes up to like 4XL, so you can get that for 50% off. No, you got.
What the fuck is this?
That's not it.
Oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Here's the Clit Licker. Okay, intense remote control with
Fascinating.
chargeable Clit Licker. Item number E349. This will change your life. It's $70, but with the code H3, you can get it for $35, which is a really good deal.
Whoa.
50% off?
50%. No, but this is really cool. Look, see all the little tongue motions? It can go around, and the little bunny lets your partner control it for you, so you can control. This is really, really cool,
That's cool.
actually.
That
So
is
like,
cool. How did they get 50% off? That's so crazy.
it's insane, and it's super cute. It's discreet. 50% off is really good.
You could even bring that to like Dodger Stadium with the little fan. Just looks like a fan.
Nobody would know. Just throw it up your skirt. Like no one's gonna know.
Well,
It's
why
so
does it have
fun.
a fan on the edge?
No, that's the tongues that circle.
Oh, it just literally slaps your
Oh.
shit?
Yeah, it goes.
Oh my god.
And it has 12 intense speeds and functions. It's really, really good. Honestly, guys, that toy is like life changing. You really.
I just found out what a dick sleeve is.
a dick
Whoa.
sleeve. I don't think that's a proper term, but
That's
I
what
think
you
it
said.
is.
Apparently there's dick.
yeah,
You can, this is just an idea for the guys at home.
it's for vibrating.
You cover your whole dick in like this whole like it's like a vase. It's like all these ornate trimmings and everything, and you just cover your whole.
It's amazing. It gives different stimulation. It has swirls. It has little like nubs on it. It's vibrations. It's really,
Looks like
really good.
it looks like Hellraiser.
it's so good.
It's got
though,
this giant
inside.
penis head with like nails coming out.
It's good inside either hole, whatever hole you want to put it in.
Would
it
you
feels
fuck
good.
Hellraiser? You know the guy with the pinheads or pinhead?
I don't know.
Because he probably has pins coming out of his dick.
Well, maybe that's what it's modeled after.
Probably. That guy probably got good dick, bro. Pinhead?
Oh, I feel like they
Do you know who Pinhead is?
I don't know who Pinhead, but we're
Let me
kind
show
of
you.
getting distracted from this.
Oh, this is important.
Is it
This is
though?
Pinhead.
Oh, I've seen that. That's
You
like really
fucked up?
old. No, I am
No.
engaged.
Good answer.
All right, AdamandEve.com.
Adam and
The best thing about staying
Eve.
home is playing at home. Get a 50% off with code H3. Plus, you get added bonus
Wow.
free gifts, free movies, free shipping if you're in Canada. Get the clit liquor with the code H3. AdamandEve.com.
And get a cock sleeve,
I mean, that's good.
whatever that is. All right, now let's get on with the show.
Let's go,
the
bro.
steamies take a huge steaming dump on your partner. Is there dump toys?
I think that's illegal.
Pooping on each other?
I think in like porn, you can't even find it on Pornhub.
Oh, that makes sense. But what about pooping toy? What would be toy for pooping?
I don't know about that, but
Why can't you
Ma'am.
poop on your partner?
I think just like
Ethan really likes poop, bro.
filming it. I don't know.
Filming it.
I think it's probably like a health hazard.
Because you can pee on your partner. I've seen that plenty in porn.
But that's not really allowed like on porn sites. Like they'll like Visa.
Pee?
Yeah, you can't because Visa will like.
I've seen a lot of peace stuff on the internet, bros. I used to watch adult content just like as an observer. You know, I'd come home on my lunch breaks and be eating my cereal and be like, scanning. Sometimes I just go to Chatterbait to watch people be content creators because I really do watch it from a content creator perspective. Where I'm like, ooh, interesting lighting, interesting like camera angle. Sometimes, you know, I've seen a lot of peace stuff. Let me tell you.
Take away like Pornhub had issues with
Lisa's
that.
like, no peeing.
We crossed the line at peeing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Pornhub took down all the amateur videos.
Yeah, I heard about that. They took away everything.
I'm so glad because people re-upload
Yeah.
that shit. It's all down now.
But that's actually good because I heard that they had a real problem with like underage
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all kinds
yeah.
of weird,
Unconsensual,
really messed up stuff there.
possibly.
So that's great that they did that. I think.
I think so too.
Fantastic. All right.
We
Steamies.
get a word out.
All right. What's our first category, please, Ian?
It's biggest COVIDiot.
Biggest Cove idiot.
Starting off with a bang. This was my favorite. This was
So this is just between them. Which one was the award ceremony where Tana was drunk? This isn't that because this is different. Isn't that one? Yeah, that one's like on stage. I don't remember what that was.
a good category. Great titles. Whoever thought of this. This was
Thank you
amazing.
very much.
I don't think Trisha was there, so that must have been after Frenemies.
Biggest Cove idiot of 2020. Let's review the nominees, please.
Biggest COVID-idiot. Addison Rae.
Bad press for Addison's new movie remake. Movie production shut down a COVID-tested site to film a part of the movie.
Nikita Dragon.
Nikita posted a video on Instagram from the party where she says that she was the one who planned the entire thing. So we can give it up to Miss Nikita Dragon for that party, I guess.
Tana Mongoose.
We don't fucking care.
Love it. Sorry.
Logan Paul.
So I went and got a COVID-19 test, and it actually came back positive.
I don't really give a fuck, but thanks for letting me know.
James
know.
Charles.
People are insane.
faces were seen at the party on social media, including James Charles.
Oh, I don't deliver any tea. I drink coffee.
The D'Amelio parents.
It's Dixie, Mark, Heidi, and Charlie.
Charlie Dixie, Noah Beck, decided to go on a year-end trip to the Bahamas. Charlie and her sister have both been ignoring this whole situation.
Jake Paul.
Hosting a house party over the summer, despite official COVID-19 warnings against large gatherings.
I think the disease is a hoax.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you, Ian.
Oh my God.
Now, in
Wow, what a
this envelope,
flashback.
we
The good thing about this show is it reminds you of what everyone was doing in 2020.
have the biggest COVID idiot. Now, if you guys are wondering how the votes were tallied, we put out a anonymous form on Twitter, and we had over 45,000
Whoa.
votes cast.
crazy.
Now, I
Whoa.
do not even know the winners. This was cast anonymously, filled out by Ian. So I'm very excited. What is your feeling on who is going to be the biggest COVID idiot
Oh my God.
of
After seeing all
2020?
that, like, I hate influencers. Like, I hate them. And they're all,
I know.
they're actual murderers. Like, James
Okay.
Charles was, like, the most likable in those clip. I was like, oh, James isn't bad compared to these
Right.
idiots.
Well, and then there's one who wasn't even on the list where FaZe Banks and the FaZe Clan had like this huge banger that was just. These people are psychotic. It's so psycho.
It's also, like, just
It is funny that Trisha and Ethan don't see themselves as like a part of it, but I guess they are a particular part of the group. But Trisha is so much closer to being one of them than she is for not being one of them. You know what I mean? Like Trisha's so close to being James Charles connected because of her Shane Dawson connection and so on that it's kind of funny. But I guess Ethan is on the other side of it, but then Ethan gets into his own shit now.
the cockiness. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah. The
What?
Logan Paul thing is my favorite because he didn't know he was being filmed.
Jake.
No, that was Logan.
That
He was
was
like, I don't really
Logan.
give a fuck. And I was like, oh, True Colors
Oh,
come
I
out.
thought we had Jake twice. Oh, that's Logan.
Yeah, that was Logan.
Oh, that's so sad.
Tanner's like, hey, I was hanging out with you all week and I have COVID, just so you know. He's like, I don't really give a fuck. was like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with
They
you?
both deserve to be canceled because he also like kicked his dog off a boat earlier this year, like
He did
last year.
that?
Yeah, and like for like a thing, you could see someone pushing the dog off. Like that should be canceled. Like you're being
So who, in your opinion,
Oh,
is the
that's
biggest
sad.
COVID idiot? If you can take a guess.
I'm gonna just go ahead and go with. I would personally vote Nikita. I did vote, and I voted for Nikita because she just keep throwing parties, never wearing masks, in elevators with people not wearing masks.
I voted for Jake Paul because he threw a bunch of parties, and he also is infamous for saying COVID is a hoax, which we love.
Sorry. Oh,
So,
God.
do we have a drum roll?
Big Trump
do we have
voter,
some
that
kind
Jake.
of suspense? Oh, okay. Add it in post. And the winner for Biggest COVIDiot 2020 is Jake Paul! Congratulations.
Cancel him forever.
We have the breakdown. Jake Paul won with 41%. That's a resounding victory. Tana was in second with 24%. James, Nikita, D'Amelio, and Logan Paul in last. We had some write-ins, actually, noticeable write-ins. Addison Rae and Bryce Hall, and our very own Ian the intern with 2 votes. Ian the salary to play. 2 votes. Did that hurt?
It stung a little, but probably well deserved.
Aww.
Poor Ian. Well, congratulations. And I think we have an award for Jake as well, right? That we'll be sending to him. We'll be mailing
Well, he
this.
moved to Miami, so thank God we got the
Well,
COVID out of
Chad says her picking the woman feels like misogyny. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. You know, there's like the double-edged sword of misogyny is thinking that women are naturally caregivers and thoughtful and considerate, but at the same time are like second-class citizens and can't manage to do anything responsibly. And the double-edged sword of that is thinking women should know better. So then you're thinking women should be smarter than men, so they should know better. I hate all of these gender constructs. They're all so annoying. They're also annoying. I saw a TikTok that said women are good enough to cook and clean at home, but men are good enough to do it professionally. And I was like, I want to scream. I think we're forgetting the elements and the differences between the two is like women are competitive differently than men are competitive. And I think men are competitive at the expense of everybody else, and women are competitive. But usually I think trying not to be at the expense of everyone else because we're brought up in patriarchy, which tells us we're meant to like caregive and think about people, right? So it is kind of interesting, like depending on how you're raised and how you internalize it depends on your bubble, right? What you're raised as and what your obligation to people is supposed to look like. What does it look like being an upstanding man or an upstanding woman? It's like maybe in Logan Paul's bubble, a man doesn't give a fuck about COVID, right? Like that was a big thing in the conservative bubbles. It was like, fuck COVID. I can get it 8 times and I'm good. I even had family members who were like, I've had it like 4 times and I'm doing great. And I was like, girl, you know, so people just, they feel a way about it. Or they feel a way about feeling powerful in their own like skin. Maybe the rich influencers fell to the temptation of I have privilege, therefore I have access. And the irony of these new celebrities is it feels dirtier than old celebrities. Like I've noticed that with new celebrities, I feel quicker to be annoyed by them than older celebrities, like more established celebrities. But that doesn't mean anything. I'm not putting some moral judgment on that. I'm saying it's just how I feel. Like I'm much more annoyed at younger celebrities who feel entitled. Like Dr. Mike, for the record, was also partying during COVID and he's a doctor. So it's like, what are you doing?
Find him and does this have his name engraved?
Did it engraved.
Yeah. Oh, right. So Jake Paul, we're going to be getting this engraved.
That's a cool award. What's with the pink cup? Just because we're
It's
pink?
steamy. Just because it's steamy.
Oh, the tea. Okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
So Jake, and it was $8. I see it's still on here. So making big investments.
We should take a dump on it and send it to him.
I'll put a little steamy in there. Steamy. So Jake Paul, biggest COVIDiot idiot 2020. We're going to be sending this to you. Congratulations.
He's the worst.
Thank you.
He might be the worst, actually.
Yeah, I really dislike him. So thank you. Okay, that was fantastic. Our next category. Wow, this is so much fun. Is this not exciting?
I never saw those clips. Like, ew. People should
Yeah.
look at those and be like, these people don't deserve their $8 million houses. You know what I mean? Like,
I just wish. I mean, I'm not going to say what someone deserves or
No,
not,
they
but
don't deserve
I just wish that you would just stop
Biggest
being such a
class
selfish
goblin.
fuck.
Jake
Dan, what's
Paul.
happening?
Good morning, Conor McGregor. I never probably beating up old dudes in a bar.
AB, you is notorious for playing sounds in the background while the show's
I
going.
don't give a fuck shit. That's like so, like, I hope someone he knows gets COVID because it's like the worst thing to deal with. But you know what? The fact that they don't even care, like they wouldn't
No,
even care
it's
if like
so
his friend
psychotic.
had it. Like,
And like you're in.
See, like Trisha's trying to be all self-righteous and shit, but like wishing COVID on somebody is not even funny. Do you know what I mean? So for Trisha to say like, I wish somebody got COVID, I wish you got COVID, whatever, like wishing COVID, wishing death on people, wishing destruction on humanity, like start with yourself. Okay?
in LA where there's no hospital beds and people who get strokes and heart attacks can't even go to the hospital. Like you had to drive your mom to Orange County.
Yeah, they're like evil. That's like evil. That's like an evil person, and I don't like that.
There you go.
Like
Jake
Nikita's
Paul.
an idiot. James is an idiot.
Congratulations.
Like, Jake and Logan, you suck.
Pound it for the idiots. Hate them.
Sorry, my big ring.
Okay.
Pound it.
Oh yeah.
Like, knock it like
dude,
this.
dude, you could kill someone with that thing. Dude, fucking carved this on the earth with that. Alrighty, our next category, Ian.
It's biggest clout goblin.
Okay,
Biggest
let's see.
clout
Trisha.
Goblin. Now,
Is
what
Trisha
we mean
gonna
by
be there?
clout goblin is just, I'm not really quite sure what it means, but I feel like you know what it means. A clout goblin.
For sure. You can just picture the clout
It's
goblin.
someone
that is
that's
James
just-
Charles.
Is it going to be, please tell me Trisha's there?
Right, who's just hungry for clout and they're willing to associate and do anything to get in the limelight, to get attention.
And it's just more like not even being like, they're so disingenuous about it. They just like are so obvious about it. Like you're gonna hang out with a 16-year-old when you're you know what I mean? That's like a clout goblin. You're really gonna go
I
like.
think I know who you voted for. Well, let's see your nominees, Dan, or Ian, or AB, whoever's doing it.
Biggest clout goblin, Jake Paul.
Jake
Good
Paul
morning,
coming in
Conor McGregor. I
strong.
know you're probably beating up old dudes in a bar right now.
What happened
Maybe you're
to him?
jacking off because you're sick of fucking your wife. I mean, she's a 4 Conor. You could do a lot better, but happy Monday.
Dixie D'Amelio.
Who's one person that you really want to collab with?
Good morning.
Trippie Red on a song would be very cool. This is my sister Charlie.
Oh yeah, hi, nice to meet you, Trip.
So she's kind of the start of all this, brought everything together.
Bella Thorne.
Bella Thorne made $1 million in 24 hours on
This is so old now. I don't think any of these people still in the spotlight. I don't see any of these people anymore. I forgot Bella Thorne existed. The D'Amelios are so old news to me. I didn't even know that rapper. Like I knew his face, but I don't even know his name. You know what I mean? Like, and she just said it. Like who?
OnlyFans, causing new restrictions in the way the app works for other content creators.
Big Ed.
It's a snip.
Big Ed.
It prevents me from getting you pregnant.
Why you not tell me last night?
I didn't know how.
Austin McBroom.
I got enough kids, but I'm making my son.
Okay. Ew, cringe.
I know.
James Charles.
I filmed a YouTube video where I reached out to some of my favorite celebrities and asked them to recommend a product for my makeup routine. Miss Gigi Hadid, Miley Cyrus. I thought it would be cute to DM Miss Rosalia, Miss Alexa Demi, Rita Ora. I thought that I would DM somebody very, very
Oh my God.
legendary that also,
Chill.
in fact, happens to be
Daddy,
my
chill.
neighbor, Selena Gomez, Doja Cat, J-Lo, Emily Ratajkowski, Cardi B, Miss Naomi Campbell. This is so
He
cute,
really
like,
thinks he's
FaceTime.
all that.
Oh my God, fun. Hi, sister.
Hi, sister.
Wow.
That was great editing on
Thank
that
you,
one.
Ian.
Ew, that's one.
Yo, I know we say YouTube isn't good, but YouTube is so much better now. I'm sorry, YouTube is so much better than it ever was in 2020. I know maybe it's just my algorithm. Like my partner asked me that yesterday. They were like, you make the algorithm work for you, right? I was like, yes, this algorithm is a slave to me. Like if I want to change my algorithm, I just do it in under 30 minutes. I just like sit there on YouTube and I change my whole algorithm. And then all of a sudden I'm getting totally different videos that I got like 2 seconds ago, right? Like I manipulate social media to give me what I'm looking for and to like change my vibes. But like, YouTube is so much better now. I love it so much more. That says I miss Jenna Marbles. You know, I stopped watching Jenna after she made that like kind of like slut shaming video, but I just never really got into her past that. I think her and Julian seem really happy though. That's one thing I will say about their YouTube couples is like they're probably one of the nicest couples I've seen. But I never got into her content. I just never, I didn't see any overlap with it. But I will say like I like to see them as a couple together. They seem happy.
Video of James Charles, like, ew.
Yeah, that was gross.
So gross.
So I have here the winner of biggest clout goblin. Now, I myself voted for James Charles
James,
because
obviously.
obviously his association with like a 16-year-old girl who's just super popular.
Yeah.
And I get the sense he's really just using her to rejuvenate his career.
Everyone, the
Yeah.
Dolan twins. Did you see that clip of like him with Shane, like praising how much he loved the Shanae character that was like he said was ghetto and racist, and then he's in the clip, he's like, oh, that character like changed my life, and he's like in a video with Shane telling him
No.
that he's just such a. Whenever it's useful for you, he goes to the next person. Where's Emma Chamberlain? Where's the Dolan twins? He just leaves them aside for the D'Amelios. That whole thing of DMing celebrities, no one cares.
This
about you,
show
James.
is very anti-James Charles. I will say that. Okay,
Ugh.
ready? Drum roll, please. Biggest clout goblin of 2020 is James Charles! They love you, And another resounding win for James Charles, 40%.
40%.
Interestingly, Austin McBroom came in
He's
second.
the goblin. No, he's no clout anymore.
Yeah, Austin McBroom surprised me. We recently
Is
did
he
a
in
content
jail?
court on the Ace family.
Oh, you did?
And I was very surprised by his antics. He is kind of a dude.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Bella Thorne, Dixie, Jake Paul, Big Ed. Big Ed. Hey, that's kind of a compliment to Big Ed.
Yeah, is it though? 'Cause no one cares about him. They're probably like, who's Big Ed? You know?
I love Big Ed. Oh, you were right in with Trisha was wrote in with 91 votes. That's kind of impressive.
Oh, wow.
But it's only 0.3%. Tana was written in, and AB?
Yeah, for sure. He's
True.
like,
AB was written in with 6 votes. We got to find out who those 6 people are. They're not down.
everyone
Interesting.
here on the show.
Everyone here is a clout goblin. Oh, everybody on the show.
Vote for AB.
I promise that didn't happen.
He just like
Or
loves
I didn't.
you. He's just like,
Yeah, I love him. I need more people like AB in my life. He just, I love
that's true.
it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
Yeah.
love it. So congratulations, James Charles. Can we please get the steamy for James Charles? Oh, we have one. Thank you.
Oh gosh.
James Charles, congratulations. We'll be engraving your name, biggest clout goblin,
Yeah,
2020.
we can
So
drop it off for
we
you.
love you and we appreciate you. And
These are two people I'm like just can't wait till they like disappear off social media, and it will happen. Look at Ray William Johnson on TikTok just trying to make a
I don't
comeback.
know.
Like,
James is pretty. James and Jake are both like.
oh no, they'll eventually. They will. Like, I mean,
For the record, Ray William Johnson making a comeback on TikTok was the smartest thing he ever did. And I love that Trisha is trying to talk shit on Ray. Because Ray's, what the heck? Where did my video go? All my windows just closed. Ray is one of the most OG YouTubers, and he used to do Equals 3. And the fact that she's like Ray trying to make a TikTok comeback, he literally did make one, and he's doing very well. And I know because he is my daily show with my partner. For people who don't like true crime at all, I get it, but we do love watching our Ray, you know? But isn't that funny? Like Trisha trying to be like a hater about it. I don't know why people are such haters. That's the thing with the internet. At the end of the day, people will judge you if you're not popular. People decide not to talk to you if you're not popular. And like everyone is so snobby about everything at the end of the day. Like everyone acting like they're not snobby. Like you're snobby. Like you will avoid talking to people unless they're the right status, or you won't engage with certain people. You know what I mean? Like, so for Trisha to sit here and pretend like she's better than other people when like you're just being another version of judgy, just own it. I feel like, you know what I mean? I don't know, whatever.
I mean, everyone is like super big at one point. Like,
hello, George?
Comes down. Like they totally do.
Well, James came down big time, but then he like got huge on
It'll
TikTok
happen
with
again.
like.
Nobody's gonna care. So I can't wait. Like, and I say that because they're actually shitty humans. Like if they're not, you know, like Tana, I don't think she's like a shitty human. She's just kind of like, bleh, you know,
She is.
off-putting. I don't think she's like a crappy human. I think
Well,
she's
if
just,
you
like,
think Tana's fine, then James Charles is fine.
no, like he's like evil. Like he's actually
Evil?
like, yeah, because like you can't go around like the stuff that he does to people is kind of like gross. You know what I mean? And also the fact that you're friends with like a minor and you think it's okay. Like I'm sorry, that's manipulation. Like you're like power control. Like you're kind of gross. And don't say that I said I
Oh,
was
I got-
pro
I got-
Hitler.
Chat says love true crime ? Sorry, I don't love true crime. I should restate that. I don't actually like watching true crime. It's way too depressing and it makes me paranoid. I do not like true crime. I like Ray William Johnson doing true crime. That's what I meant to say. So I don't know who Rotten Mango is. And if I do, I don't know that by name. But sorry, let me rephrase. I do not watch true crime podcasts. I think they're too negative. And I think the comment sections are really toxic. I like Ray doing true crime. That's really what I should have said.
Don't say that
I got
I'm
Trish just started on James.
You really gonna call me homework just because I don't like you, James? No, I love every other gay person in this world. Like I'm like I myself am a gay man. Like
Can
I'm
you be
like,
homophobic
whatever.
for one person?
No, that's
Oh,
not
you can't.
a
Okay, I'm
thing.
just curious.
But
You're like, I am homophobic
I
for you.
myself am a
Loves to
gay
turn it like that.
man.
He's an actual shitty person. Stop being friends with minors, James. It's disgusting. Move next category.
Next category. Thank you, James Charles. Congratulations. Next category, please, Ian. Thank you so much.
It is biggest douchebag of 2020.
Now this
This is a good
is
one.
a strong category.
I voted for you. Right, I wrote in you.
You wrote me in. What did I do?
I don't know. I think
Okay.
that this would be the category you could win.
Biggest douchebag? Damn. I mean, it's stiff competition, so maybe there's other write-ins for
I
me.
didn't write you in.
You didn't?
No.
Thank you.
You're not a douchebag at all. You're actually.
I was like, I'm trying not
You're
to.
a Cancer. You're a sweetheart.
Oh, Cancer?
Yeah.
See, then
Wow.
you can't. The whole Cancer thing, just.
No.
You're Cancer, bro.
No, you are. You're. So
I know I am,
yeah.
but anyway, biggest douchebag 2020. Let's take a look at the nominees, shall we?
Biggest douchebag of 2020.
Biggest douchebag.
Mike Majlak.
He was wearing a dress. He was wearing a dress.
Wearing a dress doing whippets. What?
Okay, I love a man in a dress. I still feel like they dress celebrities wrong. I really felt like that photo shoot could have been better. I feel like they always dress people in the wrong dresses. Like Harry Styles could have worn a better dress, but I do love a man in a dress, you know?
What the fuck were they
I
thinking with this cover?
There's no one on the show who's more relatable than me. People relate to my shit all the time.
Keemstar.
Ethan, you are a piece of fucking garbage. Garbage.
Everybody tweet at fucking H3H3 death to all Jews.
James Charles.
Pretty epic.
Steal these designs from Petty Fresh? No. You are in no position to be talking about me and my career, so I highly recommend that you stop starting fights with people that are half your age.
Jeffree
shut up. I'm talking about
A year ago, I did a video called "Never Doing This Again," and I meant that. 2020 has been really.
Can you not shoot it like that?
That house is crazy. You know whose house gives me a lot of anxiety, but like no shade, is because it's just big. Like I actually do not like big homes. Like I'm realizing like I get so like I get anxiety. Like I don't like it. Like when I growing up, a big house was like 3,000 square feet, like 2-story, 5-bedroom. Like that was a big house. But when you have like an 8,000 square foot home, a 10,000 square foot home, like if I can yell at one side of the house and not hear you on the other side, it's like too big. And Jackie Aina, like her house is so like her staircase, when she comes down her staircase, it looks so pretty, but it gives me so much anxiety. And I'm learning so much about myself through other people where I'm like, yeah, I would love a big yard though. Oh my God. If you had a tiny house on like 20 acres, I would love that. Not like literally a tiny house, but like no bigger than like 3,000 square feet-ish, right? And it's like, that is such a big space for me. It gives me a lot of anxiety. Oh, like, yeah. Oh my gosh. I've really been learning about myself watching people where I'm like, oh, yeah. And chat, who's going to clean it? Exactly. Like who's going to clean it? So give me, you know, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and I'll be happy.
I have added to the chaos.
Jack's Films.
Yeah!
I need to
This is
apologize.
my nomination.
Obviously.
The entire Yaya you're about to see is filmed out of focus.
Yaya is not a thing.
Okay,
It's not a thing. Stop trying to make Yaya
Just
work.
so Jack knows, Trisha insisted that we include that. And I thought, well, I love Jack, and I hope nobody voted for him.
I want to take Shane off one of these categories. I'm like, the only way I'm gonna like be okay with like promoting this show is if we include Jack's Films in the biggest douchebag of the year.
So let's see, maybe he won. Wouldn't that be epic? Jack is literally the nicest person.
He's literally acts like he doesn't know who I am.
You
and I've met
are
him a dozen
so
times.
ridiculous.
I've
Jack
never met
is so
someone
nice.
who's met me a
He is
dozen
so
times
he's literally
and, like, who are you?
unproblematic. Jack Film is the most unproblematic person on the internet.
He also thinks he's like the smartest man in the world. Like, oh my God,
No.
created. Yeah. Like, okay. His Alexander Hamilton video, I was like, he thought he was so brilliant. Like, when people started copying
Can you just give the guy a break? Like, he's not problematic. Why do you gotta hate?
Because he thought he was the first person to come up with that Alexander Hamilton thing. I'm like, everyone's
He
done
didn't
this
say or
before.
think anything. He just
totally
made a
did.
video. Oh my God. All right, biggest douchebag of 2020 for me.
Wait, literally, Discord. Big homes make me anxious because I get paranoid that someone is hiding in my closets and will jump out and attack me. I actually do think that's partially why I'm afraid of big homes, is it feels like somebody could be living in my house and I wouldn't even know. Or like if I had kids, they would get lost on one side of the house and I wouldn't be able to find them fast enough. Like I actually do get anxiety over big spaces, but then I'm good with acreage. Like my parents have like a 1,500 square foot home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, really cute. I think it's 1,500 square feet, and they have like 5 acres. And I'm like, vibes, like total vibes. You know, it's like very cute. They've done a lot of construction, updated it, but their acreage is gorge. And I'm like, that's the life right there, baby.
I mean, Keemstar wins every year.
From based on the spit.
But there's like James Charles is good
I
and
mean, the death
stuff.
to all Jews. I don't think that's even like a joke you can make, really.
No, I don't think so at all.
That might
Yeah.
put him over the edge for the biggest douchebag. Although Mike personally has
Oh,
been so
Mike,
many
yeah,
douchey
yeah. No, Mike is. I wouldn't be mad if Mike won.
He's very douchey. I mean, he's nice. He's a nice guy, but he's very douchey. So I'm gonna go with Jack's Films.
Oh my God. All right, let's get a drum roll. Biggest douchebag of 2020. Here we go. And the winner goes to Keemstar!
Wow.
With a resounding, the biggest margin win by far with 56%. Congratulations to Keemstar, biggest douchebag of 2020. Incredible.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that.
James Charles in second with 21%. Jeffree Star. Mike actually didn't even show.
Like Mike. That's cool.
4
So 1,500 square feet is like 139 square meter. Is that the one that I have to learn? Is that the one we use in Europe, square meter, right? Because I always forget what's the square meter. Square meter? Is that what it's called? I forget what it is here in my apartment now. But let's see. Yeah, like 278 square meters. Like that's like a big enough house. You know what? That's like that's more than enough, right? Square feet is American, right? But square meter, is that Europe? I always forget what our apartment is.
0.3%. Jack's film actually got 1.3%.
Above Jake Paul. Jack's films is douchier than Jake Paul. Was it? It doesn't. Oh, we didn't show him.
Oh, Jake Paul was a write-in? Oh, that's a lot. Oh, he wasn't nominated?
Am I wrong? Was he not nominated?
I don't believe we had him in there.
Oh, he should have. Yeah, he should have been nominated.
Okay, well.
That just goes to show how much.
But I don't think anyone could have topped Keemstar 56%. That's the highest margin we've had in a category.
Keemstar has done some vile things on the internet for sure.
Yeah, he definitely is like clear when he's like the king of the
How
category.
has he not been like kicked off YouTube? Like for real? Like with
He
that comment, where he's like,
has.
oh, why didn't you like kill your?
Wait, Keemstar is kicked off YouTube. He now works for a different company that hosts him on YouTube. But I think Keemstar's channel got kicked off, right? When did that happen? When did Keem get banned from YouTube? Wait.
You know what I mean? Like that. Not to bring up that, but like.
Well,
how do you
Trisha,
not-
I have wondered that myself.
That's like actually like, isn't that like?
And
to go
also
to jail for-
just saying everybody tweet to Ethan death to all Jews.
Right.
It's like funny.
That's like beyond.
Super funny
though.
joke. Death to all Jews.
Did you get tweets?
I don't check my timeline because it's full of shit like that.
It seems just a little bit beyond like hating or trolling.
Noticeable write-ins. Dr. Drew came in with 12 votes. Don't worry, Dr. That's not that much. And Dan? Why Dan?
Dr. Drew followed me on Twitter.
That's nice. You got 12 votes as well.
Did it have something to do with Etika? Because that's what's coming up on my YouTube thing. It doesn't matter, but I wonder that must have happened after this. Etika died, I think, after this.
What? I mean, that's not a lot. That's not a lot.
Dan's grown on me. I would have said last year when I
You
first
would've
met him.
voted- yeah.
2019, I would have considered Dan douchebag of the year, but 2020 he was killing it. So
How does that make you feel? You got 12 votes.
If you're not upsetting somebody, you're not doing something.
There you go.
yeah,
I like
okay.
it. Well, Keemstar's doing everything right in his life, so congratulations.
oh yeah, he probably loved it.
This is your steamy biggest douchebag of 2020, and I'll even put the percentage you won by 56%. Resounding win on that one. Congratulations to Keemstar.
Yay!
Incredible showing. Incredible showing. Now this is just so much. This is way too much fun.
This is so much fun.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
having so much fun with this.
I'm so glad we got all dressed up.
I know,
We're here.
me
We're
too.
celebrating 2020, the best aspects.
Feels like a party.
Ian, what's our next category?
On the flip side of that, we've got biggest mean girl of 2020.
Okay.
This was a weird category.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened.
Okay,
We
yeah.
had douchebag and it was all guys. So I was like, well, we need to be, and I don't want to say the B word because it's kind of like derogatory for women. It's like too mean. So I was thinking like, okay, mean girl.
That's good.
Right.
But what it really is biggest B word.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Oh, bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
I was like, what word?
Because I feel like I just don't like saying that to females these days. It feels too chauvinistic.
Isn't
You know what I
suck
mean?
how the world is like that now? It's like,
Don't like saying it to females nowadays. Femoids, as Fresh and Fit would say. Yeah, that's a good. I'm glad he changed it to mean girl. I think that's more respectable.
like you can't call
But
them
it does-
a bitch.
but
But if they're a bitch, they're a bitch.
No, I agree, but I feel like for some reason it cuts deeper against women. Probably because they just been fucked with for so long.
It holds no merit to me. I throw that word around like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure Trisha would feel very neutral if someone went around calling her a bitch for real, though. It's all about context. Ethan made the right decision.
I'm like, whatever. Like,
Does anyone else feel that way?
I'm a bitch, so
I mean, I don't want to be a baby about it, but I do. I don't feel
I think
comfortable.
you're a baby about it. I think
Really?
you're becoming the woke.
No, I'm not. Well,
Okay, this is, you see how people do things, but they don't know why they do things? In this context, it would be misogynistic to say, like, who's the biggest bitch of the year, like, and only make it about women. If they said, who's the biggest bitch of the year and included all genders, that would probably would have been more fine. But if douchebag is for guys, then he needs to make a category for girls. Then calling it a bitch category is derogatory, right? Because now the word's being used. It's like saying, you know what I mean? Like, that's exactly why. So the fact that they don't know that that's why is kind of interesting. And now she's like, well, you're being kind of woke. It's not about being kind of woke. Adding a category to your award system that's like biggest bitch and it only includes women is like inappropriate. That's it. That's the answer.
I don't like calling women that word. It just feels bad.
If they're a bitch, they're a bitch.
I agree. If I called Ela a bitch, I would die. She would murder me. Did Moses call you a bitch? I mean, that's crossing the line.
No, he treats me like a queen. I don't know. Ela handled it pretty well when I called her a bitch. I didn't mean it.
No, but you're
she handled it well.
female to female.
Oh, okay. Right.
But do you know what I mean when you say Ela's a bitch? That's way more heavy than saying like, oh, Dan's a fucking douchebag. It hits harder.
But I was being a bitch when I said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, biggest mean girl of 2020. So let's go ahead and review the nominees.
Biggest mean girl of 2020. Dixie D'Amelio.
It's just annoying when you're not. And yeah.
Oh my god.
Dixie, what the hell?
What was that?
Why did you do that?
Tati Westbrook.
Wait,
Wait,
what?
turning against change. Handled it pretty well when I called her a bitch. I didn't. said
D'Amelio.
It's just annoying when you're not using
what the fuck?
Dixie, what the hell? Why did she do that?
Tati Westbrook.
Why would Shane Dawson, the king of truth on YouTube,
The king of
be
truth?
turning against James Charles unless these things he was saying were true? It's been a long time
What is he,
coming.
Jesus?
Gabby Hanna.
Fuck you.
Oh my God.
These people.
Trisha Paytas.
Everyone's just gonna attack against you. Everyone's against Ethan. Like, oh my gosh, I'm always right. It's like, ugh, you and Jax don't deserve each other. So
I can't believe you're going after Jax. He's such a sweet guy. All right, Trisha.
oh my god,
Trisha.
You definitely. I mean, are you honored to be included?
I'm definitely a mean girl, but it comes from insecurity.
I think you're great.
I mean, a lot of mean girls, it's because they're insecure.
I'm honored. Yeah.
Are you
Dixie's a
prepared?
bitch. Like of all the
I
people,
agree.
that's like a bitch.
And Tati too. It's kind of like,
I think
ooh,
she's
ice
dumb.
queen.
I was in her lawsuit. Did you see that? That her lawsuit
Oh
just
yeah,
came out.
I did. I didn't really.
And they're like, Trisha is an adult entertainer, therefore she is not credible for this sort. I'm like, first of all, it's not because I'm an adult entertainer that I'm not credible, but okay.
I forget in what context she mentioned you.
The person who countersued her said like, oh, they brought up my video as like an evidence against her, which I don't know why they did that. But then
Well-
Tati's lawyer wrote back and said, well, this is an adult entertainer, so she is not credible.
What?
Yeah, it was
No,
so weird.
I-
No, that is. That's what I
Really?
mean, there's other reasons they could have said I'm not credible, but they're like, well, but it literally said,
Who's worse during this era, Gabby or Trisha? I almost want to say Gabby, but I'm not sure. Who's worse, Gabby or Trisha? Because only one of them is truly the monster.
adult performer who's not credible.
Hmm.
Fuck you, Tati.
Ice queen.
Yeah, I hope.
Well, biggest mean girl of 2020. Let's get a drum roll, please. This is a big one. Stiff competition. I really don't know. I feel like there could be a lot of votes for you, but I feel like the other two are so deserving of the title. The winner is Tati Westbrook.
Oh,
that's good.
hoping it was me.
Really?
I'm kind of shocked it was Tati. What? Tati versus Gabby and Trisha?
A trophy.
I feel like Tati deserves this one. With 32%, she won resoundingly. You were in second with 25%.
But I did make fun of your mom's cooking, called Ela the C word. Like I think I deserve to be made.
But again, like you said, like you said, you don't mean it. But Tati is an ice queen, bona fide mean girl.
I think I'm meaner than Tati. This sucks.
The people have spoken, Trisha.
Shit.
Gabby Hanna in third. Really close between you and Gabby, actually.
Gabby's not mean. She just needs help.
And
you know?
Dixie was 17%.
I mean, Dixie's pretty mean. When I see those clips, I'm kind of like,
Yeah, she's pretty mean. But Tati, I mean, God bless Tata to Tati. Or like,
Great question. Is this the before the Jessie video? Gabby never apologized to Jessie, did she? Of course she didn't. She never apologized to Rachel. She never apologized to anybody. Rude, Gabby Hanna.
hello to Tati this year. Tati, congratulations. You are the meanest girl of 2020.
keep me out of your lawsuit,
Cheers.
bitch.
Keep me out. Don't take my name out of your mouth, bitch.
That's the quote of 2020.
Yeah.
Keep my name, don't talk about me. Keep my name out of your mouth.
So much fun. Ian, what's our next category?
Moving along, our next one is worst influencer song.
Oh, wait. I just realized. Does Trisha have any on there?
No.
Oh, wow.
Wow, okay, my
I
sister's
thought
killing
I
it.
just realized that Trisha should be on there at least once.
I suggested we eliminate everyone but Dixie because I think the only one who has a
Yeah,
horrible
Trisha
song.
wanted to it all to be Dixie songs.
And no one else deserves it. It's literally just
Well, let's have a look at the nominees and we can think about it. Go ahead, Dan.
Worst influencer song. Be happy, Dixie D'Amelio. One day, Dixie D'Amelio.
One day, I was really sad.
Dixie D'Amelio.
her new fire box.
Fresh out of London.
I didn't even know
Jake
this
Paul.
Looks like the music.
Man, I wish I could really hear the words. Like, listen to the music because I don't know it, but I don't want to get copyrighted.
This one was hella bad. The talk.
Who's Jack Maine?
Man, that one was crazy bad. Thank you, Ian.
I don't know him.
That one was really bad. I do remember there was an era where I really thought like YouTube music was so fun. And then, I turned 25. Anyways, Jess says, do you watch the Do We Know Them podcast? Yeah, I do. I just started watching them more consistently, but yeah, I love the girls. I think they do a really good job with their rundowns, and I appreciate their recent stuff on the psychopath. What's his name? Leo Skeppy? Girl, the things he said about the fires. I am shook. And chat says they mentioned me recently. Yeah, they mentioned me in the podcast about the fires or whatever because I covered Leo Skeppy. I can't believe Leo gets worse and worse and worse every time. Like I always want to be faithful. I always want to like trust people. I always want to believe in people. holy shit, to this day, this man's psycho. I'm telling you, he's a psychopath. Like he's got something deeply wrong with him.
You know what's crazy? That Dixie became so famous just by being Charlie's sister. I mean, that's clout gobbling shit.
Oh, that's true. Oh, I get it. Yeah, she's totally.
Yeah.
I mean, she's literally, that's it.
Now she's like, one day. All right.
Oh, poor.
Drum roll, please.
Who do you think is going to win? I think Dixie.
I mean, obviously. By the way, Trisha nominated, at first it was just 3 Dixie songs, and we're like, we should add somebody else. Because that was just Trisha. The winner is, by overwhelming majority, Dixie! For one day with 42%.
The boys piss me off way more than the girls. I'll be real. Jake Paul and the douchebaggy boys, I think they're so much worse than the girl songs. But then at the end of the day, maybe that's my lack of interest in the boy bubble in that way.
Probably the only award she'll ever win in her life. So congrats, Dixie.
One day, I was really, 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 really sad. Not today. She's the winner today. Second place was Jake Paul, Fresh Out of London. And third place, once again, Dixie, Be Happy.
Oh.
And Dixie, Roommates. People like that one, apparently. Only 4%. But one day, this is huge. So congratulations, Dixie.
Congrats.
You are an award-winning artist.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. Because, like, let's face it, in a year, she's not going to be anywhere. So she'll be like, oh, at least I want to see me.
Here's a nice steamy for you, Dixie. One day. Congratulations.
One day. This is okay. Maybe you should get on some antidepressants because your songs are Be Happy.
Jesus,
and one day she's, didn't they work for you? You're thriving.
Yeah,
You're
but you don't
booming.
know anything about her.
Her songs are called She Wants to Be Happy. She's really, really sad. I think she's crying for help to have.
Chad says Brittany's the first and only person I've seen talk about Leo Skepi being insane. I don't know what it is about that guy. Like, I don't know what it is about that guy that people don't talk about him more. Like, I feel like he's popular enough, but also everyone just thinks he's being, I don't know what it is about edgy people content, but I think he's so far from the typical bubbles. I don't know why people don't cover. I'm surprised Ethan hasn't covered it. Why hasn't H3 covered it? Maybe because the video is gone and you have to watch my 5-hour stream to see it. Maybe because they don't know how to find the clips. But Leo Skepi is weird. And I don't know why people are just flocking to him. And he shouted out Teal Swan. Gross.
Have someone guide her in the right
Maybe
direction.
right.
I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying maybe check it out. Maybe
Let's
you
say
can be happy
go talk to a psychiatrist and see if antidepressants are right for you.
That's so true.
Right.
Don't take my advice. They weren't right for me, but maybe they'll be right for her. She seems like she has it more together than me, so.
20 milligrams of Lexapro set me straight.
Hell yeah. I like Prozac, although I did. Never mind.
Prozac Nation.
What?
I ran a car into a tree on Prozac. So.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay.
Was that the Prozac or you, though? It's hard to know.
That was the Prozac, for real.
It was.
Never had the desire.
That's kind of awesome to be like, it was the Lexapro. It was the Prozac, I swear. What's our next category, please, Ian?
It's most brutal cancellation.
Okay.
This is a category I was not happy about, but I like that you changed the title.
So at first, excuse me.
Ethan!
Trying to spread COVID everywhere. No, I'm kidding. I don't have COVID. Just my cough.
Normalize Tourette's. How about that? Let's
Is this Ethan's first time getting COVID? The one he has now, like present day Ethan, not this Ethan. Present day Ethan, he has COVID right now. Is this Ethan's first time getting COVID? Because they were pretty good about not getting it. And I was just curious on how many, because I only had it once, which, by the way, was one too many times. Deeply, like, do not recommend getting COVID. It's not a joke. No, it's not his first time. Oh, I was just wondering, because I hear it's like easier the second or third time, but I don't know. I don't want to know if that's true. I'm not interested in experimenting with that.
Normalize Tourette's 20.
That wasn't a Tourette's tick.
Oh, what is that?
I was like,
What was it?
I was just coughing.
That's not coughing. That's like.
Okay.
This is- he has
It's
GERD or
meant to be
whatever, right?
ridiculous.
Okay.
I'll cut it off the Tourette's. It's kind of like your Prozac. It's like, it was the Tourette's. Officer, it was the Tourette's.
I love having a friend with Tourette's because now I can like have a soapbox for something. Like normalize Tourette's.
Oh, thank you.
I co-host a
You could
podcast.
soapbox for my ass.
I'm gonna be like, all my TikToks will be about. You should do that. All your TikToks should be about having Tourette's and like, you know.
See, Trisha's good. She's a clout girl, goblin. She's right. Like, Ethan could make a whole channel about like all his TikToks can be like living with Tourette's. Even I gotta capitalize on my disabilities. Hi guys, welcome to my channel where we learn to live with fibromyalgia. You are strong, just like Jesus himself. Don't worry, even if you're sick, you can do it too. Like the video.
Mine's all about being a fat girl. You should be like, oh, here's me with.
You want my entire identity to revolve around having Tourette's?
That's what you gotta do in this time.
I've been fine so
On
far.
social media, you gotta like go for a thing that people will feel sorry for you for.
Most people don't know I have it. They just think I'm a weirdo. And I'm happy with that. Because I don't want my whole existence to be defined by the guy with Tourette's.
But you can help so many people with Tourette's.
I think people who have Tourette's who watch me know that I have Tourette's.
I didn't know that. I know people.
You don't have Tourette's. What do you want me to say?
Good job.
Tourette, people of the world with Tourette's, hear me now. I will be your spokesperson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Do you have Hebrew in your jacket? Is that rented by Israeli? It's like Hebrew in your coat, in your
Where?
back of your neck. Back of your neck. Oh, maybe it's just upside down.
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding.
So this was originally called best cancellation, but that's not what it is. It's not. We're not passing a judgment value on if this person deserved to be canceled or not. We're just saying it was like the most complete, shocking, brutal cancellation.
It was a harsh cancellation.
It was just like, wow, that was the big cancellation of the year.
Right, because we do also have Jenna in this category, who's very well liked. No one thought she deserved to be canceled, but got a brutal cancellation.
Well, she kind of canceled herself.
She did cancel her, and then Julian canceled her even more. He's like, stop talking about Jenna's cancellation video. And I was like, you're just canceling her more. Like,
Oh, really?
People were pissed that we nominated her. Everyone's like, this is insensitive.
Right.
Julian hates when people
Wait, what era of Jenna Marbles are they talking about?
talk about Jenna's cancellation.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the internet. But I love, first of all,
Is this I don't remember what, I remember she left the internet for her own peace of mind, but was it after the cancellation?
let me just say, I love Jenna and Julian. I think they're great people, and I've always admired Jenna Marbles.
Yeah, they seem like
so
good
again,
people.
This isn't a value pass on.
Oh my God, guys. Chad said my hair looks so long, but you know what? Now that I'm seeing it, yeah, okay. Look at this. Look at this. This is the longest. I told my partner, I was like, you are now dating me at a time in my life when my hair is officially the longest it's ever been as an adult. My hair has never been this long as an adult. Never. I've never had my hair this long as an adult. I've always cut it. I've always ended up cutting my hair. But now we're growing it out. Girls, it's going to be so long. I'm growing it out forever. I'm never cutting my hair ever again, except for a trim. I'm going to have old gray mane. I've been bald. I've been shaved. I've been undercutted. I've been side shave. I've been all of it. Now we're doing long. I always knew I had to experiment with short haircuts until I was ready to go long. Because once I went long, I was never going to go back. It's kind of like when you go black, you never go back. It's very similar.
On them. It's just we're acknowledging the category. So with that being said, Dan, roll it.
Most brutal cancellation. Tati Westbrook.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Chris D'Elia.
Ouch.
Yes.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
The Ace
Ouch.
family.
Yeah.
They didn't know.
Yeah, they're still
Tony
around.
Lopez.
Nah, he's still around now.
Pyrocynical.
That.
Yeah.
Jenna Marbles.
Poor Jenna.
Yeah.
We love her.
Shane
So I
Dawson.
mean,
Shane
that was a brutal
Dawson.
one.
I mean,
For me, it's definitely, thank you, Ian. It's definitely between, if you want to talk about brutal cancellations,
Yeah.
Shane and Chris were the biggest. They got stomped on the hardest this year.
yeah.
Like, both of them are just gone.
Yeah, and I don't know Chris, but he seemed like a nice guy, and then all his friends turned against
I
him.
loved Chris.
Like, at least Shane, like, I stood by him, like, his friends, he didn't.
Wait, Chris who? I missed it. Chris who? Chris D'Elia? Who Chris? I was reading chat. Who? Chris who?
Most brutal cancer. D'Elia.
Ouch.
Chris D'Elia? Why did he just say I loved Chris? He texted on the minors.
Ouch. Ouch. Yeah.
Pyrocynical.
That, wow. Relations.
Yeah.
Shane and Chris were the biggest. They got stomped on the hardest this year.
Yeah.
Like, both of them are just gone.
Yeah, and I don't know Chris, but he seemed like a nice guy, and then all his friends turned against
I
him.
loved Chris.
Like, at least Shane, like, I stood by him, like, his friends, like, he didn't lose. You know what I mean? Like, we stood
Well,
by
so
him.
the
But
thing with Shane is different in my opinion, because with Shane, it's not like he necessarily did anything.
What? Yeah.
It's all like bad jokes from a long time ago.
Right.
Whereas Chris is like actively doing slimy stuff.
Tony Lopez actually admitted to, like, sexting 15-year-olds. How is he actually not canceled? Like, it's insane to me. So, yeah, like, and Shane's been canceled for this multiple times. Like, the fact that, like, the Smiths jumped in on it, like,
Oh, yeah.
15
The
years
Smiths
later.
buried his ass.
It's like, calm down, Jada Pinkett. Like, her daughter was posing topless at 13 with her 21-year-old boyfriend.
what?
So maybe
What?
focus on that. Yeah, there's like a topless photo of Will Smith at 13
Ew.
years old with her 21-year-old boyfriend, Moses Aries or whatever
Wait,
his name is.
who's 21-year-old boyfriend? The
Willow
mom's.
Smith was 13 dating a 21-year-old
No.
actor named Moises
that
Aries
can't
from the
be
Disney.
I am not Googling that. I'm not Googling that. That's not good.
Look it up from the Disney
So
Channel
look that
series.
up right now.
Look it
Somebody
up
fact check
right
that.
right now.
I can't put that out there without knowing.
Fact check it.
Isn't that just like
I would never put that
rape?
out there.
Isn't that just like rape? Look that up.
Look it up.
Somebody looking it up?
And like, don't like. I mean, the thing is like that's what you should be worrying about. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, I got to know if that's true or not
okay, look it up. You
because
can pause. Yeah, I wouldn't say it if it's not.
a 13-year-old was dating a 21.
That's gross. I think I have some vague memory of this photo or this news because of everything that happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock and everything coming out. But I am glad that I can't remember it quite if I have seen it. But also gross. These Hollywood parents, these regular parents too, it's not just Hollywood. You know what the biggest lie America told itself was? That only bad parents exist in Hollywood. because regular ass parents are doing the same fucking shit. You know how many girls I knew in my high school, they were dating men in their 20s and their moms just thought it was so great. So as much as we want to say that like, oh, this is just such a celebrity bullshit thing. No, absolutely not. Ugh.
1-year-old?
I mean, they say we're friends, but she's topless in bed with this guy.
That is insanely disturbing.
Rico, the guy with the hair, black hair, Rico from Hannah Montana. Did he have like the wavy hair? It's been so long. What? No.
Aries.
Oh my God.
What?
He was a Disney Channel star, and he was like 20, 21 at the time of the photos, and she was 13.
They introduced him as a family friend, though. But
why was he in bed with her and she was topless? How does that? Isn't that child pornography? How's that out?
It's well, he was like covering her, she was covering herself or something. But it's disgusting. Focus on that. There it is, right there.
The
There's
Smith
the photo.
fam-
Look, AB's showing you.
Ew, I don't want to see it.
Oh, this is weird.
It's-
Wait, why is this photo out? Was this part of a shoot?
Yeah.
They posted it?
Ew.
This was a while ago, but yeah.
You see how they post it? They post it and they don't even care. Ugh. I know my parents were strict growing up. They really were too strict, honestly. But at the same time, I think like this is the problem. It's like there's no middle ground. Just like find a middle ground, people. But a part of me is so thankful that my parents really tried not to allow their young daughters or boys to be sexualized. Like, I really appreciate that. The way these parents put their kids in positions to be sexualized, like, obviously, I think there are circumstances in which parents go too far. Like, I think you can, you know, the problem is growing up, like, my parents believed like their kids like in 2-piece swimsuits is sexualization, right? So it's like a little too strict, but at the same time, at least their intentions were good, but also they took it too far because there should have been circumstances where that was okay. But also, like, I get it. It's like you want to protect your kids, but also what does that look like without shaming your kids for also being curious or wanting to look cute? It's hard. It's like, I don't know how these parents do these photo shoots. Ow. Oof. You want to talk about that fibro pain? Ooh, my shoulder. Ooh. Ooh, girl.
2014. Mm-hmm.
They're in bed.
This was after Shane's joke. This was like 20. So like.
What?
Oh yeah, didn't Shane say he wanted to have sex with a kid or something? Wasn't it Willow
Oh my
Smith?
God. This was shared on social media.
Weird.
I am blown away by this.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Jada likes kids, younger men, allegedly. Fuck. Jada likes men who are young, who might have been kids when she knew them, who became adults. Also, who did I just learn about? One of the boys from the Jonas Brothers or One Direction? One of them met one of the judges at 14 and then later became her baby daddy. And I will never forget that. I don't think I could ever like know somebody at 14 years old and then be with them when they're an adult. Like I can't even envision it. You know, like that's so weird to meet somebody when they're 14. Is it Liam Payne? Oh, Liam's dead though, right? Isn't Liam the one who passed away? That's crazy. That Sheryl Crow? No. It couldn't have been Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow would have been way older. Oh, not Sheryl Crow the singer. Not Sheryl Crow the singer. This is a different Sheryl Crow. You guys know the Sheryl Crow, the country singer that I'm thinking of? This girl looks totally different. Cole, Sheryl Crow. Oh, Cole. Good job, Brittany. Okay. Yeah, I just learned about this on TikTok. Wow. Absolutely not. Oh, that's crazy, ma'am.
Also,
The Smith family kind of has no room to talk. They are so fucked up.
Oh, and did you watch the Red Table with Olivia Jade? And they were talking about how like she has all this privilege, white privilege. Okay, let's talk about rich people privilege. Your daughter has that too.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh my gosh, like you have this this white privilege, but you also have rich privilege. Your parents are famous. That's why you can get away with that photo, and that's why like it's
I mean,
so
Smith
crazy.
privilege is as powerful as anything on this planet.
The most powerful thing.
Yeah.
So don't even. I mean, it's. I have so many
But
issues.
that whole Red Table show is like ruining their life. Like she's a clout goblin.
A clout goblin for sure.
Because she's like airing all
Yeah.
their dirty laundry for views on Facebook, and it's like she goes, oh,
how? Okay, but that's what's so funny about Trisha and Ethan. Do you know what I mean? Like those in glass houses. Those in glass houses. Thank you, chat. We need 200 likes. Guys, 73 likes when almost 300 of you are watching. Support minority people. Like the stream. Support the disabled. Like the stream. If you don't support the disabled, you might as well call yourself a Trump voter. Listen to me. Do we support the disabled? Only if it's my son, Barron. But honestly, even then, that's his name, right? Barron. Melania. What's his name? Barron. Is that his name? Barron. Barron. Only Barron. Only that one.
Oh, I had an affair with Will, with this guy, and Will Smith is out there like, dude, I'm trying to live my fucking life. You know what I mean? Leave me out
Or
of
did you
this.
see the one where she's like, oh, let's debate on if it's okay that white people adopt black babies? I'm like, why would that not
Would you
be
rather
okay?
the black baby not have a family?
That's literally, they had the girl from Sex and the City who adopted an African American baby and they had her.
Well, hold on. Wait a
Or did you
second.
see the one where she's like, oh, let's debate on if it's okay that white people adopt black babies? I'm like, why would that not
Would you
be
rather
okay?
the black baby not have a family?
That's literally, they had the girl from Sex and the City who adopted an African American baby and they had her on and they're being like, is this weird that like white people
What
are
did they
doing
conclude?
this? I mean, it's always divided. It's always divided. Like it's
I think there's a conversation to be had about white people adopting babies and then raising them with no understanding or context to where they came from, which I think would be hard in general, even if you adopted a white baby, right? Even adopting white babies into white families is difficult. And then on top of that, you adopt a baby into your family, expecting it to be treated the same way your kids or your family was, which makes no sense because hello. I assume that's what the conversation was actually about, because there is a conversation to be had there. Because I just think I think people try to whitewash experiences and they tried to say like, it wasn't hard for me, so why should it be hard for you? Or like, we don't see color. When I adopted you, I adopted your soul. I didn't adopt your color. It's like, great, but the world still sees color and they're going to kill your kid because of it or hurt your kid or like, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I feel about sometimes parents who adopt non-white babies is the same way I feel like about autist moms. Sometimes autistic parents make their child's whole identity their identity, and sometimes parents do the same thing. You know, yes, white savior, exactly, chat, white savior thing. But ultimately, like, we have to be aware to treat everybody with the dignity that is individual, and you have to meet people where they're at. So if your kid says, hey, I'm really upset that I had to be adopted in the first place, that's understandable. If your kid says, hey, I feel like I was adopted into a family that still treats me like an outsider because we can't have conversations about how the world perceives me and how that makes me different, and I have no one to turn to, and I can't even talk to my own family about it, and that's frustrating. Like, I think people just think like the adoption is enough. Like, I adopted you, that should be enough. It's like, well, you know, and they expect like adopted kids not to rebel in the same way that like other children get the right to rebel. It's like, everyone wants everyone to be children, but now when that children starts, you know, questioning their place in the universe.
It's crazy.
How dare you want to love a family, a baby that has no family?
God. And she's like, and everybody sees color. It's like, some people just want a baby. Some people are just infertile. Like,
Well,
you know
the thing
what I
is,
mean?
some
Like,
people just, I don't know if they specifically ask for a black baby, but it takes a while till you have a baby ready for a family that wants to adopt a newborn baby.
yeah.
So it might be black, it might be white, it might be
you
Asian.
just want a baby to take care of and love. Like, it's crazy.
Well, I haven't seen that, but I agree with your
Ugh.
assessment with the facts presented.
Anyways.
With that being said, drum roll, please. This is a hotly anticipated category. Most brutal cancellation, guys. Come on. Most brutal cancellation of 2020 goes to, with a huge margin, Shane Dawson. Actually, the biggest margin.
Good, honestly, because people recognize that it's brutal.
57%. And I have to say, I think it was the fact that Shane had such an explosive year.
Of course, yeah.
And then such an explosive cancellation.
Yeah, because he was so at the height of his.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, hold on. The black population in the US has grown by a third since 2000 to 48.3 million in 2023. So 48.3 million 2023 black Americans, 7 million Jews Ethan said he'd never had a black friend. I mean, that's okay. Funny enough, I mean, there are definitely people who have never, like, there's a way to be a kid in the US and like never see a black person, right? Never see a different person, never see a Jew, never see a person. So like what's interesting about like how we raise our children is actually one of the greatest questions I got asked is like, how many black teachers did you have growing up? And I was like, wait, that's a great question. None. Now, I only went to public school for 2 years, to be fair, but even when I was homeschooled and even when I went to public school, like I never had a black teacher. You know, I don't think it's that abnormal for someone not to have a black friend growing up because I think we forget how segregated the states are, even though we don't think it is. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I've never had a black teacher from my memory. That's crazy. That's so interesting. Like you put it into perspective because, you know, it's the same way. You remember how we took those statistics? We did a live stream on this like a year ago, maybe, where if you poll Americans, they think like 70% of the US is black. They think like 80% of it's Mexican, like Mexican, not like Hispanic, but like from Mexico. Like they literally think there's so many people and they're barely getting even represented in media. That's the irony. Like even women CEOs, if you polled people, they would swear they're like a lot of women own businesses. That's not true. The healthcare meeting just happened at the White House for women's health and not a single woman was present. So we do this thing in our mind where because we hear about it, we don't understand in actuality, the numbers don't represent the data. It's insane the way that when we hear things, we just think like, oh yeah, like we get to just so fast. Human existing as a person is so interesting when you start to ask yourself, have you ever had this experience? Do you even have this experience? Did you take this experience for granted? Like I saw another video of a girl who's traveling to a primarily like black country and all the billboards had black actors and actresses. And she was like, wow, coming to a place where, you know, people looked like me on the billboards, like, and it was the majority. Like, again, you kind of like don't think about it until you're a minority who's looking for representation. That's why when white men are like, I never feel represented in media, I'm like, you're represented in like, I don't even understand. There's like 10 male lead shows about being a white guy who's like quirky and fun. Castle, Sherlock. Like there's so many shows that are just starring white men. And finally, when you get a black guy, it either does somewhat well, not as well, or it's like remembered as the one or two exceptions to this rule. Like Dr. House. Exactly. There's so many. Dexter. Like there's so many. It's just kind of crazy. The Big Bang Theory. To be fair, Raj was there, but he's not black, you know? Oh, you just like, you don't realize it until you really start to look at your life and remember like, oh yeah. Yeah, like you almost like take it for granted in a way. Yeah.
You know,
I like Shane. I feel bad because it's like, again,
oh
like
my
I said,
God. He likes Crystalia and he likes Shane? Confused.
Crystalia was actively doing scummy things.
Right.
Shane, there was a lot of like tasteless gags from
before I met him. All those jokes were like before I even met him. There's not one video where he's making those jokes with me. I met him in 2011. You know what I mean? So he was. Yeah, and but the fact that Jenna's number 2, this is great because they're recognizing people
that
who
was
have been
brutal.
canceled.
It was like unjustified, is what I'm seeing.
Because she got canceled too for making like.
And also, I know we haven't been covering politics or anything lately, but just know that I am keeping up. My heart is with all the people, from the people in the Congo to the Palestine to the mass deportations that are happening. Like everything is so intense right now. And I know we haven't been covering it. I've been really trying to figure out how to cover things while I'm doing these long reviews because I can't seem to do both. Obviously, I run out of spoons, but it's really sad. Like Trump coming into office might seem very scary, but that does not like, I think this is why we need to be humbled that we are living history and that all of our ancestors that came before us, they've been there. We're going to be here now. We have to use like their strength to move forward. That's what I do. And to remember that like people really think they're doing good. A lot of people who voted for Trump regret it, but a lot of people who voted for him, they really don't understand how bad it's getting for people. And when they do, they don't care. So like take deep breaths and remember to take care of yourselves, and we'll get to politics, and I'll try to find a way to like talk about it in a very like humanitarian way, because it's really devastating that a lot of things are happening right now, and your communities might not be impacted, but communities are being impacted. They are absolutely being impacted. And it's just devastating that we still haven't learned the lessons. But, you know, this goes back to the levels, and this goes back to my bubble theory, and this goes back to my idea about human beings. I don't think people learn all at once. We learn in pockets. So be grateful that you're in a pocket who has learned, and remember what it was like to be someone who didn't know better, because you really are blinded, and blind turns into hate. That's where bigotry comes from. It comes from a lack of education, a lack of empathy, ironically enough.
Asian
Because
like forever ago.
I feel like people are interpreting this as unjustified because Chris D'Elia only has 10%, Tati.
Right. Like they think Tony
Pyro.
Lopez, or maybe they don't know who that is, but he should be canceled.
But anyway, almost 60% for Shane. So congratulations to Shane, I think, for most brutal cancellation. 20. Well deserved.
Yeah, people
Well
want him
deserved.
back, and he will be
Can
back.
we get
and love him.
Shane could come back at any time. People would love him. Thank you.
He has a, no.
Shane, congratulations.
Can we set that aside? I'll give it to him.
Oh, yeah, please.
I think it's
Well,
honored.
should we engrave it first?
Are you going to actually engrave it?
Are we going to engrave these? It's just plastic. Can you engrave it?
We can get a little knife and
Yeah, I
scrape
think we
his
should
name in.
engrave it for everyone and put it up. You can deliver it to him.
I will, yeah.
Maybe he can do an acceptance speech for us.
Yeah, for sure.
A little video. Shane, congratulations. Brutalist cancellation. We love Shane.
Aw.
This is a pro Shane, anti James Charles podcast.
we love that. We stand that.
The next category is worst apology.
Worst YouTuber apology.
I'm so excited for this one. I am the master at calling out bad apology
Okay.
videos.
Let's see
no
the-
one is sincere these days. You know who's sincere?
Oh
I'm
my
sincere when I mess
God.
up.
Only
Anyone
you are
else?
sincere.
Only me. All the other ones are fake. So let's go.
Trisha?
Let's see it, Dan.
Worst apology. A long overdue apology. Jenna Mongoose.
Oh, this was bad.
A message.
Oh,
Jenna Marbles.
Jenna.
Admitting when I'm wrong. Dr.
Fuck you,
Mike.
Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
Breaking my silence.
Oh,
Tati
By the way, that
Westbrook.
title is so dramatic.
Doing what's right. Jeffree Star.
Doing all these titles.
We
oh my
went to therapy.
Wow.
God. Keep it in therapy, lady.
I messed up. I really did.
Oh God, all those were horrible.
Biggest YouTuber, worst YouTuber apology. So we are rating the insincere worst one out there. What are you thinking?
Well, she never really apologized, so I would have to give it to Tati for not apologizing in her apology video.
Also the title, Breaking My Silence.
Oh, that's what people say.
Chat says, Bray, what do you think causes Ethan to go from saying someone is chill to full Armageddon on people? The switch up is so extreme. I don't know what you're referencing, but Ethan, like many people, just have like a really strong sense of justice. So if Ethan finds out he hates something about you morally, that's all he needs, which is kind of good in some ways. I mean, depends. Like, I'm glad he switched up on that pervert guy he had on his set that whole time that I didn't like. Like, I'm glad when he switches up on like people and like doesn't make room for like bad people to come back into his space. But I'm not sure what you mean by that. I might need a clarification. But then sometimes I think he switches up on people because he's misunderstanding it, or these are his values, you know? Because remember, at the end of the day, if a transphobe goes after you for being trans, they're just like a transphobe. Right? So when Ethan goes after like Hassan and all these people, he doesn't understand that it's coming from an anti-Palestinian place at the end of the day, because he doesn't understand how other communities are being impacted or talk about their struggle, but also not because Hassan is Palestinian, but because it's like, it's connected. So again, I think, I guess I'm a little confused about the question. Yeah, Jimmy Lee, thanks chat. Look what happened, Bradley, Mike, Tana, and Jeff. I mean, he goes back and forth, right? Jeff's back in his good graces. They get along now. I think Ethan just is trying to stay with his values and he doesn't know when to cut people off, which all of us struggle with that immensely, right? Like, I think Ethan just thinks he's right when he thinks he's right. That's most people. Like, Ethan really does remind me of a lot of people that I meet. Like, when you think you're right, you think you're right. And so you're just like, that's the answer. That's how it is. You're all fucking dumb and I'm the right one. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? I don't think it's much more interesting than that.
After they've gotten like assaulted, like that they, you know, the R word, like that's what happened.
It's like you're coming out against all the odds. I'm breaking my silence.
Like crazy.
All right. I don't know who's going to be in here, but let's get a drum roll
Let's
for
go,
worst
please.
YouTuber apology 2020. Who is it going to be? The winner is, by a very, very close margin,
Wow.
down to the wire,
Whoa.
Jeffree Star. Worst YouTuber
Jeffree
apology.
Star. Woo!
Wow,
Jeffrey's was so cringe, though I don't really remember now that it's been years. Chet says, yes, I meant, why is he so extreme on both sides? He has no moral gray or gray zone. Yeah, I mean, I think gray zones aren't for nuanced thinkers, and nuanced thinkers tend to be less, like, okay, I get accused sometimes of being too lenient on people, but that's because I'm usually pretty gray with my thoughts. But then I also get accused of being black and white. And I think it's just how people see you and perceive you and when they hear you. So sometimes we're all those things. Sometimes we're really black and white. Sometimes we're really gray. Sometimes Ethan's like very open, tries to meet people where they are. And then sometimes he's like really harsh. I think I've watched enough of Ethan over the years to see him in all spectrums. But, you know, you can stop watching someone for a different era of their life. Like, I stopped watching Ethan because of the era he's in his life, but maybe I'll watch him again in the future. I stopped watching Hassan because of where he's at in his life right now, but maybe I'll watch him in the future. Like, I stop watching or interacting with people, not to write them off, but to say that, like, maybe in the future. I mean, obviously I write some people off. Some people I've written off and I'm not, like, even if they got better, I don't want to hear it. But that's because I want to give them the energy. But then some people, I imagine one day I could watch each three again, right? Maybe in 5 to 10 years, Ethan's a different person. He's grown a little bit. We're more in a tolerable wavelength. We're watching Hassan. I can't wait for Hassan to grow out of his like streamer language days so I can watch him again. You know what I mean? Like, I think we all have moments of our life that are tolerable and more. I mean, how many of you guys left my channel when I was doing my panel boy debate bubble days? For like 2 years on my debate days, which, by the way, so glad we're done with that. A lot of people left and then came back again after I finished that time in my life. So, you know, sometimes you just see a content creator for a certain era of their life and you're like, I don't want to be here for this journey, because it is a journey, you know? Yeah, I just think like Ethan's bubble's really uneducated, but also everyone's is to an extent. But Ethan's in particular, I think, is really, really uneducated. And I think the group around him, they're just like, they're so isolated in their own bubble. And I think we have to, like, it is what it is, you know? Like, I try to meet people where they're at. And so I try to accept, like, again, we put down boundaries. I don't tell Ethan, ultimatum, you change or I won't watch you. I just say, oh, okay, I'm not going to watch Ethan for now, but maybe I'll come back later. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to go tell Hassan to be a different content creator, but like maybe one day I'll come back. But he's not here to serve me as an audience member. I'm here to find the content creators that give me optimism and positivity and like make me feel like I'm moving forward with my life. Right? Jess says, thank you. I'm just so curious. Ethan often claims to be smart and a free thinker, but I also feel his bubble so small. Ethan thinks he's a free thinker the same way my mom thinks conservative women should be called feminists. The same women who vote completely against their own civil rights want to be considered feminists. Do you know what I mean? People want the word without any of the responsibility of what it means. Women who voted for Trump are like, why can't I be a feminist? You can be a feminist, but not the kind I'm thinking about. Do you know what I mean? You can be like a conservative feminist or something. I don't know. But the idea that a woman would vote for Trump and not understand she's voting against her own civil rights, if you ask those women, do you think you're open-minded? They would say yes. If you ask those women, do you think you're tolerant? They would say yes. If you ask those women, do you think you're smart? They would say yes. And maybe according to their standard, they are.
Jeffrey, I got to say, Jeffrey won with 26.3%. Tati in second place with 26.1%, a real nail biter. Tana close third, 21%. Ace Family, Dr. Mike, Jenna Marbles. If you're watching, you got 0.6%, which is, I think you should have been at 0.
Right. Crazy. Well, I think it was Jeffrey's setting.
Insincere, the setting.
The
He's
glam.
like, the glam.
Let me get some glam before I apologize.
Man.
In his $15 million mansion, just like.
Let me, so if we can, do you think we can get this to Jeffrey? Worst YouTube apology 2020.
I would like to make amends with Jeffrey this year.
So what better way than to hand deliver this?
Wait, Chad says, oh my gosh, on music they just used, did you use that in one of your wedding videos? I don't know. I didn't recognize it, but maybe.
Kind of a steaming pile of poop award. Yeah, we can try that.
Excellent.
I feel like I might have been a little harsh on Jeffrey last year. Like, I think he was.
I still think he's a weirdo.
Yeah, but so
he's like a weird goblin man.
Are you going by the looks or are you like his attitude?
Everything.
He's really nice though. He is like nice.
Why'd you do a flip flop on him?
Well, he had a mean girl moment where he was like making fun of my weight and skin and stuff behind my back, but
why do you think because like he has a lot of leverage? Are you interested in clout?
No,
Jeffrey Clout?
I
Because he does have clout.
No, I think it's just more like I know his, like, he comes from like the similar like sex work I did. Like he was on Craigslist.
really?
Like, I mean, he talked about it in the Shane documentary, like sucking dick on Craigslist and stuff
Really?
like that.
How much
So,
did he charge? Do you know? Because you were
I
only
don't
5. I wonder if he charged. You can't really charge less than 5 for a blowy.
You can do it for drugs, but he doesn't do drugs, so probably not drugs.
That's
So
more valuable than 5, probably.
well, you get the 5 and the drugs. Like
Oh,
it was
sick.
also like
Epic.
yeah. But yeah, I think like he's just like really broken, insecure. Like he's always on the defense. He said he went to therapy this year, so hopefully that helped because it helped me. Like if you're always on the defense, like I was always on the defense for so long, like it's just more because you're like broken and you don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
So
a little empathy here from 2021 Trisha. We like that. We have 2 categories left.
I would like to try your mom's cooking again in 2021 because
My mom's over you.
she hates me.
My
for
mom
real.
canceled you.
Shit,
Oh my
really?
God,
What if she like okay,
stop.
she's a new person?
My mom's fine. She doesn't hold a
Yeah, she
grudge.
said congrats. Didn't she say congrats? Yeah, she sent a text and said congrats.
She did? Yeah, she was happy for you. She's over it. But she was really mad.
I
It was
know.
funny.
You know when I think about it, I'm like, I'd be
Because
pissed
my
if you talked
mom,
about my mom. Yeah.
my mom doesn't really ever get like that, and she's like, I hate her. She's complained about my cooking on the
Okay,
podcast.
let's.
Oh my
maybe we'll just work
God.
towards that.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah,
We won't rush into Passover with her.
but it's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
I also have a theory. Okay, forgive me. I also have a theory that people who are used to eating shit food don't know what good food tastes like. But I don't know if that's true. I don't but I have a theory because sometimes I've met people over the years who like they'll be served like a genuinely delicious home cooked meal and then still crave McDonald's afterwards because they have an addiction to the sugar in the food. And so then I'm looking at them like, do you not know what food should taste like? I do kind of have that association with Trisha. Like I can't imagine feeding Trisha any of my home cooked meals and her thinking it's good. Because like, does she even eat real food? Do you know what I'm saying? If you're only eating bad food and you think that's what tastes good, which by the way, even I love the taste of bad food when I eat it. I just hate the way I feel after. Like even I'm like, holy shit, I want to eat more of this, but then I regret it later. You know, it's like one of those things where when I eat food, I don't want to have to feel bad after. You know, I don't want to feel tired. I don't want to feel like I'm in a coma. I don't want to feel heavy. I don't want to feel like I have diarrhea. I don't want to feel gross. I want to feel good, energetic, light, ready to work out. I want to feel like I just ate something and it's just like I better go the whole time I eat. Like I'm an open appreciator of food. So you know what I mean? So yeah, I wonder if Donna's cooking is really that bad. I would love to taste it because I'd know. Because Ethan said it's also bad as well, but like I don't know what that means. Does she not salt her food? You know, I gotta know.
Next category, please.
Next category is biggest reverse card.
Oh, this is kind of a complex one to explain, but the biggest Uno reverse card
What's this? I forget.
is when somebody did a flip flop, a 180, or like they made some big statement and then walked it back.
Yes.
Oh,
that's
right.
So best creator Uno reverse card. Let's see the nominees, please, Dan. Thank you.
Biggest reverse card. Dr. Drew downplays COVID, gets COVID.
That you're more likely to die of influenza, so go ahead and get your flu shots. Doesn't hurt anybody. That should be the headline. Way less serious than influenza. That's the headline.
This corona thing doesn't worry me at all.
It is a press-induced panic. I am angry about it. It is the flu.
He is battling COVID-19 from his bedroom.
And I'm telling you what, we know how to treat it now, but it really requires careful management by physicians.
Tati Westbrook forms
damn.
James Charles Alliance.
Right.
Man, Dr. Drew was all on that. Dr. Drew, he could have been my Dr. Phil, but he was a little too woke. But he was right about COVID. It's no big deal. It's like a cold. Achoo. Barely a big deal. Honestly, I didn't even know when I had it 10 times. 10 times? How many times? JD, how many times did I have it? I had it like 10 times. And listen, I'm a young guy. I'm spry. Unlike JD Vance, he's younger than me, but he's really older than me. Honestly, getting COVID is like getting herpes. It's with you forever. Not that I would know. I don't have herpes. Anyways.
James Charles came to
That's
my
a
LA home.
reverse
We
card.
apologized to each other, forgave each other, and agreed to wait patiently until it was safe for me to share my story. James Charles has repeatedly said that he wanted to be beside me for this video.
Micah Stauffer puts adopted son back on.
This story was crazy. This story was crazy.
Adoption.
YouTube star Micah Stauffer is opening up.
Do you remember that story of the couple who adopted a child and then gave it back up for adoption? That's crazy. You know what's crazy about that is like usually I could be wrong, but don't they? I I must be wrong, but when they give you children to adopt, don't they have to be with you for a little short time before they permanize, before they make it permanent? Because like you can't just be like giving kids back, yo. But then that's good. It's better for the child to leave the home that it wasn't wanted in because God forbid they could have abused him. But like also, what?
Up about her controversial decision to rehome her adopted son, Huxley. When they brought him home, she said he was profoundly developmentally delayed. He was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder level 3.
He was an autist. Oh, level 3. That's an intense diagnosis. Hey, level 3 is no joke. That's high needs, baby. But you know, high needs, what does that really mean? What does that really mean? You could be level 3 and maybe it doesn't look, level 3 is not a monolithic experience, as we had a discussion in our Discord about this. Level 3, maybe you're a level 3 today. Maybe I'm a level 3 tomorrow. But okay. Oh, yeah, interesting. 3 out of what? Autism has 3 levels, but this is a construct. They're going to change it again in the future, like level 1, 2, or 3. It's all about high needs, low needs. So it just means he has high needs, you know? Oh, wait, Chet says, I think that's what happened, right? The trial period was over and they rehomed him. Oh, I mean, that technically is better. I think it's the fact that they used him for clout and they bragged about adopting him. That was the problem, right? This is why you should keep your shit private, bros. Because if it was during the trial period, then that makes sense. But they used him for entertainment. They used him like he was an object. It was really gross.
Now, Micah writes that she's praying that Huxley only has the best future in the entire world.
Brutal. I think Anna.
What? She specifically searched for a child with severe disability. They thought he had a brain tumor and would die in a couple years, but it turned out just to be autism, and they didn't want that. Clout. They used him as an object, bro. They literally thought, oh my God, you know what's a great idea? We should buy this kid, put him on our TikTok, and then sell him. I can't even. That's gross. That's so gross. That's psychopathic behavior to me. That's crazy. That's a bad bro. That's bad, bro. That's really bad. Whoa. Yo, I could not talk to the way I would never. Yo, that's bad. I'm going to put that on my list of worst things you could do to a child. Yo, that's bad.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys might be more, but she actually tried. She wanted to adopt someone that had.
Yeah, she said it in a video,
Yeah.
specifically a special
She
needs
wanted a
baby.
special needs baby, and she's like, "This is too much for me." It's honestly so bad, so tragic that it's hard to even think about. But I'm sure that the kid probably is in a better home. I hope, because he was readopted.
It's so hard to adopt a child. Like, I don't like, look, there's no way I'll ever get a child. Like, they're so strict at, like, as far as, like, if you're married, your mental illness, like, stuff you do online, like, all that stuff is so hard to adopt a baby. So, like, you adopted this baby and you, like, got him, you, like,
He's
had him for
legally
years,
yours.
use it
Yeah.
as content.
No, I know.
And then
Yeah,
you're going to give
I
him
know.
back?
They put him in every video. They made a whole thing about him, and apparently she did. Again, correct me. I might be speaking out of turn, but they didn't think they could get pregnant, and then when she got pregnant is when she put him back up.
Jesus.
But I don't quote me on that. Do you guys know if that? Nobody knows. Okay.
That's so fucking fucked up. I learned, I watched this financial show, and one of the hosts adopted 2 kids, I assume siblings, and the same day they brought home the babies, the wife got pregnant, and she had been really struggling to get pregnant. And then she found out she was pregnant. And so he's like, I don't recommend 3 babies in 9 months, but you know, it's a blessing. And they didn't rehome their babies. They kept their babies. But I'm just like shook, bro. Can you imagine? You know, it happens that way sometimes. It's kind of funny. Oh, man.
So,
and
so I may be speaking out
autistic
of turn
children
here.
are so loving, and so I mean, all children are amazing, but like especially like autism, like and Down children, too, they're have so much like love and. Like,
don't be weird. Autistic and Down syndrome kids are not any more loving than any other child. I don't like it. It feels weird. Oh my God, he's so cute. He has Down syndrome. Don't. You're being weird now. See, you're being weird. Like, don't do that. I just love special needs kids. They're so full of joy and pure, unlike the other kids. Like, no, like, this is why people also have ableist ideas around, like, particular, like, there are Down syndrome people that are fighting for their rights to be represented because Down syndrome isn't a monolithic experience. And some people with Down syndrome, you know, they want the same rights to be like sexually liberated and do other things. And people are like, but you're so innocent and pure. Like, stop. You're freaking me out, bro. You're freaking me out.
Like pure, like it's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Like those people like want to be loved like more than anything. Like it's like
no, I hate this rhetoric.
And they have so much love to give aside from wanting to be loved. Like they'll give you so much love. Like it's insane. Like
they're not dogs. They're not fucking dogs, bro.
Obviously never been around children with like autism. Like it's so sad to me. Like. Like when I looked at adopting, like I thought I was like her too. I was like, I want to adopt like a special needs baby, like because they have like the number one thing is everyone's like they have so much like love to give, and
they're not here to cure your BPD abandonment, ho. And BPD and abandoned. I just feel like if I had an autistic kid, they would like love me. They would like love me unconditionally, and I've never been loved in my life. Trisha, no.
And like that's why people want babies and all that stuff like that and take care of them. But
I will say I feel a little bad for Dr. Drew. I see that all the COVID denial stuff was in like February and March.
Yeah.
So, but I had to, I feel bad, Dr. Drew. We do love you, but I mean,
he's kind of like a little bit of a troll, though. I think he kind of like plays up a little bit.
I mean, he went on the whole Fox News tour and everything.
Yeah, what a loser. Dr. Drew definitely voted for Trump, bro. Definitely voted for Trump.
We're very similar, me and Dr. Drew.
You want to fuck Dr. Drew?
We're both
so
codependent, too. He followed me on Twitter after the last episode. What do you think that means?
I think it means he wants to fuck you, clearly.
Dr. Drew is a sexy man. He's very attractive.
Ew.
He gets me. I think when someone gets me.
God.
He gets me. I love Dr. Drew. Can we have him on again? You're like, no.
No, I love Dr. Drew, too. It's great content.
Good thing we didn't have him in person that episode, because I wanted him in person.
He wanted to show up in person. He wanted him in person. He's like, I want to come do it in person. I was like, bro, I seen you on Fox News. Let's keep you at an arm's length. Talking about COVID isn't fucking real and shit.
Oh, yikes.
Okay, so drum roll. We are out of envelopes, people. We ran out of envelopes.
This one is like they all deserve the award, honestly.
Biggest Uno reverse card. The adoption.
Obviously. I mean, we can't even applaud that.
Obviously.
Micah Staffer.
She might be the worst of all these awards. Like you're giving an actual human being back because he has autism? Like
there's actually, so Dr. Drew, you'll be happy to know you only got 0.5% of the votes.
We love
Tati and James was in close second with 34%. And this was actually a really good write-in, which I wish was on there. Ethan and Trisha making a podcast together. 30 points, which let's be honest, but I don't think it's better than giving your adult.
Chat. No, chat. Chat says, I remember dating this one guy and his family was like, oh my gosh, he's always wanted a black girlfriend. I broke up with him shortly thereafter. Anything like that is gross, bro. That's what I mean with Trisha's is like, oh my God, I love that he's Jewish. Like I have such a thing for like Jewish people. It's like, yo, whatever, bro.
Adopt the child back.
I don't think it's quite the same, but
That's kind of as Uno reverse card as it gets. So I'm not sure they're going to want this award. I'm pretty sure that they will not want this award.
They deserve the worst of 2020. Like they deserve all these awards. We should just send it to them.
I don't want to assume too much about them because it's such a horrible, tragic situation that I can't even put my head in that space. All I say is that this award is for you, Best Uno Reverso Card 2020, for returning your adopted son. So, congratulations, I think.
Like, that made me sick. Like, that's why it was so fun. And then, like, that award is kind of, like, made me, like, nauseous.
Well, we have our biggest award is next.
We actually ran out of trophies, so we still have a couple more.
Oh, we ran out of trophies, too? What is this shoestring bullshit?
I take back what I said about the H3 crew. I thought they had their shit together.
We have 4 more awards.
Okay, what's the next category?
The next one is Spiciest Drama.
Spiciest.
That sounds great. Let's take a look then.
Someone might be able to reuse a trophy on this one.
Spiciest drama. Teddy Fresh vs. James Charles.
I am wearing the brand new Sisters Apparel Color Block collection, which will be launching next week.
Like this motherfucker. Douche. Hi, sister.
Flamingo vs. Swoop.
I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. So the first part will cover when we met and early problematic behavior. The second part, which gets much worse, will cover what I witnessed of her trashing and using James Charles and Jeffree Star, microaggressions towards the LGBTQ plus community.
I really gotta watch that video.
Community and racist behavior. And the third part, which disturbs me the most, will bring us to the moment that pushed me over the edge, which is the reason why I'm making this video.
H3H3 vs. Keemstar.
I am but one man. Probably not even the most hated man in Keemstar's life. And you've seen the length he's gone to harass me,
Good luck, Ethan, because you're gonna fucking need it.
H3H3, death to all Jews.
David Dobrik's puzzle scam.
This is my writing.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted
by David Dobrik. That's me. You take your camera on your phone,
Nobody
just
else
like
cared
that,
except for
and
me.
then you scan it because it's a QR code. And look, now it'll load your prize, and you're going to 100% win. You're going to win anywhere from 25 cents to $100,000.
According to the data from the puzzle's own website, 99.3% of people who buy this puzzle will get a negative return, in that their prize will be under the initial $30 spent.
Philip DeFranco.
I sound like a scam, but this is a scam.
Tati Westbrook.
I have a lot to say about
Jeffree Star first contacted me early in his YouTube career wanting to meet.
that. Shut up,
I learned
Patty.
that being friends with
So
Jeffree Star
annoying.
was like being
She's
friends
not
with a
even
lion.
She literally
Yes,
only gets
he
attention when
may
we
have
make
been
drama
dangerous,
videos.
but he was
Bye,
always
hi.
really kind to me.
Bye,
I thought
hi,
I could
coming
be a good
out,
example for
breaking
him.
the silence.
What?
Look how serious she is too. There are people dying.
D'Amelio snail fiasco.
What is this?
This is not Did I not?
Don't be
Yes.
so dramatic.
Excuse yourself.
She being real?
That's a good category.
The snail.
Yeah, the snail's not really up there, but it's a good category. Spiciest drama.
Wow, there's so much. Ugh, you and Keem went at it.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one. I have to say, it was pretty monumental compared to everything else on that list. But let me
He
think.
loves it, bro.
I'm gonna go with David Dobrik's puzzle scheme.
Okay, yeah. So when you put that, I was like, what? Everybody loves David. But when I looked into it, I will say, I was like, this is super shady.
He's rich, white, straight privilege at its finest. Like literally nothing he does. This
Why
is
do you?
straight up
Why?
literally a scam. Like
Wait, it's not a scam, but it is like
he has
it's
a
gambling.
loophole. He has.
So he goes, buy this puzzle, build it. There's a QR code, and then you can win money, and it costs $30.
And he says everybody wins, which is true, but the puzzle costs $30, and usually most people win 25 cents.
Yeah, and so he's literally just selling a lottery ticket that you have to put together.
And then
It sounds illegal. I don't know how he got away with that. And you have to be 18 years old to buy a lottery ticket. You don't have to be 18 to buy this fucking QR
he
code.
sent out puzzles to his friends, so everyone in the vlog squad were putting together puzzles so they could have the chance to win $100,000.
Ooh, Chet says, what do you think about the channel called Get Down with Sean and Marley? It's a cooking show with two adults with Down syndrome. I love cooking shows. I like it. I don't watch it very frequently. I watch clips and stuff, but I love cooking shows. I think it's cool so far. I haven't seen anything that I thought was weird. You know what I mean? But I love cooking shows. And I love cooking shows where like things don't go perfect. And that's what's even better. And everyone like I think the problem is like we have to live in a world where people who have disabilities are also like treated the same, but also people with disabilities have to be met where they're at, but people without disabilities need to be met where they're at. I just think in the future, it's not going to matter what your label is. It's going to matter if we meet people where they're at, period. Do you know what I mean? I think we do not meet people where they're at, period. And so then we have to categorize people into categories where now I have to make an effort for you. Because if you're disabled, then people feel morally obligated to make an effort for you. But I just think we should live in a place where you don't have to have the label for us to want to meet people where they're at. It would help disabled and non-disabled people alike to have proper ramps and ways to get inside of buildings, but you don't think about it, but it's subconscious. Like everyone becomes disabled in their elderly years, which a friend just put me on to a TikToker who had that opinion. I forget her name, but you probably know her. And she was talking about how we all end up disabled in the end. And I think that's so true. Like old people are basically disabled. Right? So it's like when we're not openly talking about that, it just feels like we're forgetting that everyone ends up disabled and then we die. So like there is a reason why everyone should, that's the problem with these labels sometimes is they make people feel like, well, that's not me, but it's gonna be. So we should start planning ahead. You know, humans really are bad at planning for the future though. All of you are not planning for your retirement. I know it. Not really, but like it's very hard to plan for our old age. You think the country's planning for theirs? That's the problem. It's very hard to plan for the future. You know, when you know you're going to die in some way. Like, you know how it was hard for me to save money when I thought I was going to die early? I think that's how most people feel about life in general. Why fight climate change? We're all going to die. Why fight anything? We're all going to die. Why make the world better? Like, we're all going to die. It's like, yeah, but like also we're going to die, but somebody else is still going to be here. You know, so I might as well do something.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, you're not supposed to, like, anyways. Then it's like one person gets $100,000. I listened to their podcast or something like that. He's made over like $3 million with this puzzle.
Oh yeah, I mean, he didn't have to sell that many.
And it's a QR code.
Oh,
It's
that to me, legitimately should be investigated. That seems illegal. It seems super shady and illegal. He's put together a lottery, and people who are buying these are not 18 years old.
I wonder if he has a loophole because he's like DACA. He's not like legal here, so he can do that.
You think DACA people?
Yeah, I think it's her. Silver, you said Crutches and Spice. Is she a black lady? Kind of medium hair? That's who I'm talking about. I think that is her. Crutches, and she wrote a book. I want to read it. I think that's her. I think that's who it is. Crutches and Spice. I think that is who it is. Yeah.
Ooh, just come here and fuck up the whole. No, I don't know if he had. I'm sure he consulted lawyers. He's pretty big time. But to me, this seems like it has to be illegal, and I don't think it's been investigated because you can't just put together your own lot. Lotteries are tightly regulated, and they're mostly run by states to raise money for schools and shit. And so for him to put together a lottery and then sell it to people who are under 18 seems super fucking illegal.
Yeah.
And I think that if it hasn't been investigated, I think it should be. That's because lotteries are an important source of funds raising for states. Each state has its own lottery,
right?
And people buy into it, and the majority of or like half of the money goes to charity work because it's a vice. So the state goes, okay, well, let's at least turn it into something good,
Right,
where
yeah.
we're raising money for schools and shit. But David Dobrik's like, no, I'm gonna. That's all for me.
And he literally
Also, 100,000. I mean, step it up.
when you
bro.
make $3 million, you're getting 100,000. Like, at least give that to like 10 people or something. Like, it's so.
What?
I was shocked when I learned that. I was not cool with this. I'm not okay with this. This is so shady.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people, I'm the worst person to be this like voice for this, but like, because I'm the only one who like sees it, because people are just like so blinded. Like, oh, he gives people money and like cars, and it's like, but that doesn't.
There's a
mean he's
reason
good
he's giving
person.
people money.
Right.
He's making a fuckload of money.
It's a scam, and I'm sorry, you're giving it to your friends. He gifted like.
Well, I don't see anything wrong
No,
with that.
because like rigging, knowing the person, like.
But you're
all
right.
that
There's
stuff
rules to sweepstakes and
That's what I'm
lotteries.
saying. You can't know the people like
This is all,
involved.
lotteries are tightly regulated because it's so prone to criminal.
I really think if we wanted a healthy society, we would ban gambling. I think gambling should be illegal. I think if you want to gamble, you should go somewhere else. I just think gambling is so bad for society. Like, I want to live in a free world, but I don't want a world that gambles. I just think it's so bad.
Manipulation.
Yeah. So I don't know, like the things,
Dude,
but
I am so not okay with this. And it's like, you can go out and make $1 million if you don't give a fuck about anything. And
Right.
like selling gambling lotteries to kids without any regulations is an easy fucking way to make $1 million.
it's straight up scamming. I see these people on TikTok too. They're like, if you follow me on TikTok, like I'll give like the person $1,000, but like you have to like buy this. I'm like, that you literally can't do that. And people are getting away with it. There's so many TikTokers. Like I say it all the time. Like, in
Well,
the
you know the
DMs, like,
FDA is, or not the FDA, the FCC is starting to clamp down a lot on creators because they're doing all this crazy shit. And it's like super unregulated.
if you have to purchase to win something, like I think that's illegal. I don't think you should have.
You need
Right, yeah.
So you need to be able to get it for free if
Yeah.
it's a sweepstake. But this is a lottery, and I don't know. I'm sure the laws are very complicated. I have to assume he consulted a lawyer, but whoever it was, I want this investigated. I really do. This is not okay.
It's not okay.
It's really disturbing.
It's like, and he's not that nice. Not to bring up the dumb
But it's
thing,
not.
but
It's
like,
just a puzzle of a QR code. It doesn't have any entertainment value. It's literally just putting together a lottery
hoping
ticket.
you win 100,000 from David Dobrik.
I can't get over it.
When he's made $3 million off of you.
He probably made a lot more than that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it's $30. I mean, he could have. He
also
easily
makes
sold
like
it.
$500,000 in merch on Twitch. He makes like $500,000. Like he's like, don't
He's on
do
Twitch?
this. Yeah, he's like he quit YouTube. He's just strictly on Twitch now. He hasn't made a vlog since March of last year.
What does he do on Twitch?
I think gaming.
Wait, Dobrik? Who? Who's on Twitch? Is this after David's scandal with the grape victims?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh my God! But be careful.
Investigate
You're also,
David Dobrik.
Like you're also not allowed to leave this
I
country.
like David.
So be
I like
careful.
David. I met him. I think he's a sweet guy. I'm surprised
No, this is before. This is before.
he did this. And I'm surprised that
He's
people.
not a sweet guy. This is what I've been saying. He's fraudulent from the start.
No, I don't.
He's fraudulent.
But I'm surprised people around him didn't tell him not to do this. This is very disturbing.
Oh, this is before the Dom thing.
But nobody gave him any shit for it, so apparently nobody gives a fuck.
It's
I didn't even know about it.
crazy.
If I knew about this, I would have called him out on
Logan
it.
Paul like applauded him. He's like, great idea, man.
Yeah, it's a great idea to make money if you don't give a fuck about anything. If you're a total psychopath.
At least you're like shitty merch. You're getting like a sweatshirt or something.
It's like
you know?
it's like saying, "Hey, I made a website. I made a website where if you give me money, I'll give you a 1% chance of giving you your money back or more." And they're like, "Great idea."
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you co-signed.
Oh no,
because
I
people think-
big
okay,
cosign.
Thank you.
Huge cosign.
Thank you. Can that be a
Great
highlight?
idea, dude. Great idea. Oh my God. I'm actually upset about this. Investigate David Dobrik and Logan Paul. Fuck it. Anyway, the winner is.
Tell me.
Drum roll, spiciest drama. Oh, thank God it's not me. Tati versus Jeffrey.
Oh, really?
I agree. Tati versus Jeffrey.
Interesting.
The spiciest drama, that was right before shit hit the fan. Like the Black Lives Matter and people were getting canceled for being racist. Like you and Keem were like the height of the drama the summer before. Like
Yeah, but
everybody.
Tati, the scope of the Tati videos, she gets so many views on her drama videos, you know?
Yeah, I'm jealous. I wish I could be that like relevant.
Well, you don't want to be relevant.
Chat says one of my issues is that Trisha said she saw him do a lot of shady stuff with girls, but didn't have a problem with it until she was kicked out of the group. Listen, as somebody who was recently in similar controversies with people, you do not know as much as you think you do. When people are shitty around you, it is really hard to know what's going on. And I know because of half the stories y'all tell me about your families. It is very hard to socially know. I'm telling you right now, it's not that easy. Yes, some of the people around people are just as shitty as they are. But to be honest, everybody has their own line. And this is why mothers protect their shitty sons. Because like people have a very hard time knowing when to give up on people or knowing when to put down a boundary or knowing when it has to do with them. I meet shitty people all the time. And if I called out every single person I ever knew who did something shitty, I'd call every single person I ever met out. Do you understand that? Every single person you meet is doing something you think is shitty, even if you don't want to say it out loud, right? So I think this is a very hard social thing that people are not paying attention to. Now, everyone has a different line in the sand, right? And it's all very socially confusing, you know? It's very socially confusing. And I'm just speaking from my own experience. I always struggle with like, when should I like leave and when should I not leave? Like a situation. And if I leave the moment I want to, I would leave 99% of social situations almost all the time. Almost all the time. I think people are really weird. And I think most people who talk, even at the grocery store, I'm like, weird. Weird. You're being weird. I don't want to hang out with you. Like, weird. So I do think that Trisha probably saw David and his group of guys be weird with women, but I don't think she saw anything too extreme. I bet, because like, listen, all the stuff I saw with like shitty YouTubers, the one time I hung out with people was not nearly as cut and dry as it makes it sound. Because I was accused of the same thing when I put out my video, like, oh, now you only have a problem because like, oh, he burned the bridge with you. It's not like, it doesn't socially work that way. When you're in the moment, you're just like hanging around a bunch of people. You're not sure what the social rules are. You're like, you don't see anything really, truly horrible happening. You see things that you think are really shitty behavior from people that say they're working on it. So you're like, okay, well, if you're working on it, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't understand the social pressure, but from the outside, it looks really easy to be like, how did you not know better? You're acting like people are these great, like wisdom is like creatures that are just like, they know exactly the right thing to do in every situation. Sometimes you're just like waiting out to see what happens. You know, I don't know. I will just say like you have to really think about it sometimes. It's not as easy as people think it is what I'm trying to say. And I bet you she never saw anything very, very hard. I bet she never saw anything very, very scary. I bet she saw normal shit like misogynistic bullshit, which you know is everywhere. Everywhere. And she's pretty misogynistic. So what does she care if they're being misogynistic towards women? You know what I mean? So I just don't think she saw anything. I don't think most people did. You know, I think most people saw a bunch of stuff that in hindsight, they're like, holy fuck. Just like, you know what I mean? Like every time you have a bad feeling about somebody, you want to check it to see what it is. But while you're busy checking to see what it is, you might be accidentally hanging out with a pretty bad person. Right? She knew one of David's friends, Brandon, was dating a 17-year-old. Ew. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, but Trisha has a fantasy of being with older men when she was a teenager, right? She probably didn't think it was bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why would Trisha call out people for things she's done worse? You know what I mean? Why would Trisha call them out for stuff that she doesn't think is bad? Do you know what I mean? Like, lots of people don't think that's weird. I just told you, a bunch of moms in my high school days let their daughters date guys in their 20s. Lots of people think it's normal, guys. You're talking about people from completely different, like, ways. You know how many people marry teenagers right now? You know? Chat says Trisha did call him out and she wouldn't hang out with him. Well, there you go. I just think it's not as like black and white. Like we're all talking about like, why isn't anybody thinking gray? Why isn't anybody thinking gray? Well, because it's, you know, when you think gray, you allow the possibility of a bad person continuing to do bad things. But if you think black and white, you might become a bad person who becomes biased and prejudice. So it's like, oh shit, which one am I going to be? You know? Yeah. She did say she thought it was really fucked up and called them out, but they didn't care. Well, And that's the thing. I mean, I used to call out shitty behavior too. I'd be like, that's really shitty. You guys shouldn't do that. And you have to stop doing that. You have to do something about this. You can't keep doing this to people. And they'd say, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. They never said, oh, I'm never going to work on it. They said, okay, like, I know I'm working on it. So like, you have to have some sort of ability to exit a social situation at some point. But if you really just do it right away, the moment you feel weird about somebody, that's fine too. You know, it is fine too. But yeah, like I can't blame people for wanting to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I will hold people accountable if it's like at some point it's just obviously clear, right? I understand. I genuinely do understand that at some points it's not as clear, but at some points it's obviously clear. Come on. You know, it's obviously fucking clear, you know? Chet says I couldn't keep making content with these people, but maybe she had things at risk that made her stay. I don't know. I think you might not have been made content with these people, but like that's great. But it has nothing to do with what Trisha would do. You cannot hold Trisha to your standard. You can only say that I disagree with that standard and I would have a different one. You can't, Trisha Paytas, we're going to hold Trisha Paytas to any sort of standard. Like you can't hold Trisha Paytas to your standard. You can just acknowledge who she is. But I can also acknowledge how hard and awkwardly social it is as well. Like I can see both. I can see how socially weird it is, right? Because remember, Ethan going after Hassan fits into Ethan's narrative about what's right or wrong. So you can disagree with Ethan going after Hassan as an example, but in Ethan's narrative of what's right or wrong, he's doing the right thing. That's why the road to hell is paved in good intentions, because you think you're doing the right thing. The question is, how do you know? And I know people know they think they're doing the right thing. So I try my hard to meet people where they are, but I'm really trying not to do it at the expense of myself. You know? Chad says, I do think it's a thing of bubbles though. I've gone through so much. I didn't understand that somebody being smacked on the butt was SA, but I grew to new understanding, which we all do. I think the dilemma is like, you have to be able, I want a space where people can go on their journey of growing, but I can also be able to like warn people like, hey, don't interact with them. Like they're not ready to treat you with dignity, or hey, don't interact with them. They kind of have these beliefs, or like, hey, like voting for Trump a second time around. I wish I could say things like, come on, you could have known better. But how many people after his second term just now realize like, oh my God, I regret this. It's like, yeah, because they just found out the information that made them realize they made a mistake. But then there are people who, regardless of what they hear about Trump, it will never be true to them. So then first I need people to say, this is what I need. I need people who say it's true, it happened, to then come to a conclusion. Why did I cut everybody off months ago who stood by the streamer side? Right? Because when I confronted them and said, this is what he did, do you stand by him? They said, well, I'm not going to make this a big deal. Like, I'm not going to burn the bridge over this. Okay, well, then I'm going to burn the bridge with you, because this is enough for me to say, you got to take a stand. You got to take a stand just so we can have an understanding for work wise. Right. And now that worse things have come out, it's obvious that it's worse than anybody knew. I didn't know it was that bad. Right. So what I'm trying to say is like, even the stuff that I knew that I thought was pretty bad was nowhere near what actually was happening behind the closed doors, because I didn't know. But even what I knew, I thought was enough to cut somebody off. But it wasn't enough for some people. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's not always enough for some people, but that's when you get to decide if you want to interact with those people. Because for me, it's enough. That's why I say cut off your transphobic family if you think it's at the point where it's enough. Like if my parents were the kind of homophobic people that like, didn't invite their gay kids home for dinner, like we would never talk again. If they were the kind of homophobic parents that like protested at gay weddings, like we wouldn't talk again. Right? If my parents were the kind of homophobic parents that like fought with gay people in the line at the grocery store, like I wouldn't talk to them. But they're just not those kind of homophobes. They kind of mind their business and do what they're going to do, but like they don't bother people. They vote against your civil rights, but they don't bother people. And that is much more of an opportunity for them to change their hearts and minds than somebody else, right? Chet says, how do you know where to draw the line with friends if they think something that you think is wrong is okay? It depends. It's all contextual. Who's the friend? How close are they to me? Are we meeting each other where they are? What's the line? It's completely contextual. So you draw the line based off of the context of the situation, right? Right? Like, you know, if you're a vegan who really believes like animals are being raped and murdered, then being friends with an eat meater is kind of crazy. Like, if you think eating animal meat is the same as eating human meat, it might be a little crazy for you to be friends with people who eat meat. But like, not really. Because like, maybe, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on your belief systems. It depends on how far you take it. Like, it depends on how, you know, I'm sorry, a flesh eater. You know, I think it's just like, it just depends. Like, what your line is. I try to harm reduce and meet humans where they are. I also think we're evolved animals. Like, I deeply believe we are just animals. So for me, all of this stuff is just like, oh, an eat meter? A meter? Did I say eat meter? I just got it. I was like, what is chat trying to say? Did I say eat meter? Wow, dyslexia in chat. Okay. So if you're a meat eater, you know what I mean? But wow, Brittany, I was like wondering why chat was spamming that. I was like, wait, what? I don't get it. And then guys, I kept reading it as meat eater. So I was even more confused. I was like, yeah, that's what I said, meat eater. And then I was like, oh, eat meter. Got it. I got it. The point is, you have to decide how you're changing and facing humanity, and then what to do with the case by case basis. So I try not to make any new friends that are homophobes, transphobes, anti-LGBT, religious people for the most part. Like, I don't really need anti-queer people in my life. So I don't make any new friends that are anti-queer. That's like a big standard for me. Okay. The only homophobes I have in my life are related to me. And like, that's it. I don't want any friends in my life that are homophobes. Like, I'm not interested. I don't make any new friends who are like anti-LGBT. That's very important. I don't make any new friends that are pro-life. I don't make any new friends, you know, that are, you know, I don't know, that are deeply cruel. Like, I'm very specific. Like, I'm not interested in making new friends with certain people. Now, coworkers are different, because if I'm collabing with people, that might be a little bit different. But even then, I'm trying to stay away from like conservatives, especially. But see, that's the problem with YouTube. When people say they're friends with you, it's like we work together. And like, you got to come to work and work. But since work and friendship is so blurred on YouTube, even then I'm going to have to be very careful about associating with people, you know? But yeah, you have to decide where the line in the sand is drawn, you know? Okay, let's finish this.
And the way she is, because nobody watches any of her other
She's
stuff.
getting sued.
Oh, right.
And her business partner's like, she's a scammer.
Yeah, her life is like ruined kind of right now. But
That's why it's better to be middle of the ground, you know?
well,
Like,
just don't do any actual scams.
That's very
She's getting sued for like defrauding her business partner.
Yeah, maybe just be
don't do
honest.
that. Yeah. So anyway, Tati versus Jeffrey wins with 34%. James versus Teddy Fresh actually in second place with 32%, very close. H. Lee versus Keem 26%, and then everything else was really low. David Dobrik 2.4, nobody cares. The Snails
my
0.6. Glenn and Gore.
That guy's gonna care, David. Watch it.
There was a huge write-in. Ethan versus Trisha. I guess that's true. We should have included that.
Wait, for what? What one?
Well, we were all like everything.
Every episode.
But I don't think it would top. So congratulations, Jeffrey and Tati. I think you've already both won an award, so don't be greedy. We'll etch in two wins. for
Side
both of
note, Ian, are you still with your girlfriend?
Yes.
you. Exactly.
Bachelor season 3?
Bachelor, H3 Bachelor has resulted in
Nice.
a long-term relationship and an engagement.
Wow. That's insane.
I mean, our track record compared to the real Bachelor is like insane.
It's insane.
Like the real Bachelor's track record is like 5%.
You need to do another one.
I think so. I just
Yeah.
need to find a good candidate.
Yeah.
It's hard to find the
But
right.
like, your biggest like flex is like finding me someone that like wanted to marry me. Like, that never would have been possible ever. Nobody's ever wanted to marry me or even have a long-term or claim me as a girlfriend. Like, this is insane.
I agree. I mean,
Oh,
it's
I'm
unbelievable.
Trisha.
We make
Get me
dreams come true.
pregnant. Like, he actually like tries to get me pregnant. I don't have to like trick him or anything.
Oh,
like, it's insane.
Trisha.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend tricking dudes.
I think I did in the past. I don't recommend it, but
Really?
like,
What did
Oh Lord, it's a big consent violation, isn't it? Oh man, that's a bad consent violation right there. That's like stealthing times 2, bro. And stealthing is a huge consent violation. I mean, stealthing is sexual assault, let alone trying to get people pregnant. Trying to like, yeah, like she just admitted to like, is that not a form of sexual assault? Is that the wrong word? What's the word? It's a huge consent violation. Trying to get pregnant against someone's consent. That's something. Whatever that is, that's bad.
What did you do?
I think I'd be like, yeah, I'm on birth control.
Oh, that's so fucked.
Oh,
It's fucked
that's
up, but girls do it. I'm
fucked
just
up.
telling people out there
That's
like,
like illegal, I feel like.
It should be
not.
illegal.
It's not. It should be.
it should be.
That's a terrible
Like,
crime.
if a girl tells you go on birth control, just don't believe her. Especially if you have money. Like, just don't believe her.
You can feel my birth control. You can feel it in my arm. Isn't that creepy? You can feel it. I touch it sometimes to make sure it didn't migrate to somewhere else in my body. It's in my arm. Ooh.
You better put those pills in her mouth and watch her swallow them.
No, for real. Because you know the biggest one that I used to tell people is like, yeah, I got the shot. I'm good for like 3 years.
So I was only ever with women who were on birth control when people were like, I do not want to have a baby with that man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like,
you know what I
broke,
mean.
not going anywhere.
one's gonna, like-
I was like, she's on birth control.
Yeah, no one's gonna try and trick you back then.
Dude, I can't believe you did that. That's super scummy.
Oh, I agree. I mean,
Wait, true. Chat says Moses famously has stealthing allegations. That is true. He does. I don't know if they're true though.
I've done like way scummier things in the past.
Who did you do it with?
Oh my god, so many people.
You want to have babies with that many
Like
people?
rich, like famous people that I slept with. I definitely was like trying to like.
Because you're
have a
like,
baby.
I just want that child support.
Yeah, for sure. I thought that was
Jesus.
my way to go.
I applaud your honesty, but holy fuck, that's messed up.
It's so messed up and like it definitely didn't work. It just gave me like chlamydia, which made me infertile.
It's so trashy. I'll just say it right now. Trashy. Trying to make baby daddies so you can get their income is trashy behavior. I'm sorry. What? Like, that's so shitty. It's a consent violation. It's just fucking undignified. Like, Trisha's so trashy, bro. Damn.
Also jokes on me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was bad.
It backfired.
It backfired
Big
big
time.
time. Yeah. I was trying to. Oh, I won't say.
You think a lot of girls do that?
Oh my god. Yeah. The guy I was trying to have a baby with like impregnated two different people, and so I was like, well, this is my ticket too. You know, like let me in on it. It didn't work for me, but
Oh my God.
yeah. So I'm not a
Sobering
guy.
moment. Oh no,
Like,
I know.
When guys are surprised, like, oh, she's on birth control. What? I have a friend who's a very famous director. He's not my friend. He's like a person I know who's a very famous director. He got a porn. I won't say this. I can't say this. Sorry. Let me take it
Keep
back.
going.
No, rewind.
Keep going.
Rewind. No,
Are you
it's
sure?
not out there. So I won't say it.
It is now. Everyone, literally, people who know already.
I don't think a majority of women are doing this for the record. I just think trashy people are. I think trashy people break consent. Trashy people are consent breakers. That's why breaking consent sucks. Because you have to be so trashy that you deliberately break someone's consent and you take their trust and you all over it. Okay, you're all over it, and not in the good way. You know, it's just so gross, bro.
You figured out what you were saying.
No.
They don't. Okay.
Anyways, just don't be surprised. Like, especially if you have money. And even if you don't have money, like, they're
I
going to
guess.
still.
I guess if I was dating and wealthy or famous or whatever, then maybe I'd be more paranoid. But I never even thought about it before.
It's a thing so many girls do. And I know so many
That's
people.
horrifying.
Are you kidding me? Look at Dwayne Wade. He has like 9 baby mamas. Like, dude.
Yeah, but you at that point you put on the condom, dumb fuck.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Did you ever poke a hole in a condom or anything like that?
No, every guy I've been with never used condoms, so I never was like worried about
Really?
that. People are so quick to just be like, oh, yeah, let me nut inside you.
God, this world is crazy.
It's pretty crazy. Moses did not fall for my tricks, though. He did not fall for my tricks. I think one time he asked me, I think I might when I was on like high or something. I was like, yeah, I have a shot. But he still pulled out. He's like, I don't trust this bitch.
I don't even
Smart.
trust pull out. Like pulling out, I learned in sex ed, but pulling out's only 50% effective.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
feel like.
pulling out, it's like you're in raw. There's pre-jizz and
Yeah,
everything.
but I don't think that's. Yeah.
I wouldn't trust a pull out. If,
That's
if I didn't want to get
crazy.
pregnant, I ain't pulling out of shit.
Right. That, yeah, for sure.
But also, there's a chance that you don't pull out in time.
It's crazy how happy Trisha is in this podcast compared to last podcast. Or what's the podcast after this? Frenemies is under attack. I wonder what that's about. Like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. So when does Trisha walk off again? So there's so much more to go. And then Trisha, oh, does it go good for a while? Do they fight in? They must fight in some of these. And then boom, Trisha panics here. He didn't title any of these fight, but there's got to be. Yeah, Trisha's so weirdly happy in this. It's kind of interesting.
Because you have to it's not, you can't always get a perfect pull out, a perfect dismount. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a partial dismount.
Right.
Actually, great example of when to cut off a friendship. I dropped a friend who would fake taking birth control so she could get pregnant intentionally. She laughed and told me about it. When I was planning her baby shower, I stopped talking to her. Yeah, I would say like, unless that's like, look, there are certain people that they could do horrible things and I would try to make it right, but I would try to get them help or I would cut them out to a certain degree. There's a difference between cutting people out. Okay, so let me rephrase. When I say cut someone out, I mean never talk to the bitch again. She died. So when people say like, oh, I cut that person out, I think that's permanent. Like when I cut people out of my life, they never have come back. I've never cut somebody out of my life and I didn't just move on with my life. So I do not cut people out of my life casually. That's why for me it's so serious, because like I would never just do it casually. But if I've moved on from someone's life, like even if I've casually moved on from you, I've cut you out. Bye. You are now a part of past Brittany's life. You are not meant to go into the future. Thank you for your presence in past Brittany's life, but I do not want you to be in my future. I do not want to, you know what I mean? Not because you're a bad person either. Sometimes I cut perfectly good people out of my life because I can't take on the responsibility of a new friend, right? It's not always bad when I cut people out, right? So sometimes it's just like, I can't prioritize this. Like, because at the end of the day, every second I just can't, I don't know. You know what I mean? So like if I had somebody in my life that was doing that, I would one, warn the person they were interacting with. And two, I would be like, you have to fix this, like an intervention. If they're inner circle, you do intervention. If they're not inner circle, fuck it, bye. You know, to some extent, bye. You know? And it depends on how close you are, how casually you know them. But damn, that's crazy. You know? Chet says, but can we talk about the social framing here? Birth controls isn't 100% either, nor condoms, but men go raw and don't want kids are putting themselves at risk, period. Yeah, like I think the irony is that men will say like women are just like out to try to get me, like women are trying to get me in divorce court, but they won't wrap up. They won't use birth control. They won't make sure they're good. Like men want to be careless with their penises, but want to blame the woman for being irresponsible when they get pregnant.
Right.
It's just not safe.
Yeah.
It's not a safe.
Also like STDs and stuff like that.
I don't want STDs as much as I don't want a child with somebody I don't like.
Right. And then you're stuck. Look at David Spade. Like I don't know him personally. I don't know the story, but he got this playmate pregnant, and she lives in like Minnesota now, and she has this baller ass house because he has to pay child support. And sees the baby like twice a year. Don't know him, but that's what I read.
Kids are amazing though. Hopefully. You're like, even though I nutted in your mom and I think she's a fucking weirdo and I wish I never had to see her more than once.
Yeah.
I love you.
People do come around. The guy I was talking about that I don't really know personally, he's not really that close of a friend. He did come around and like he at first didn't want anything to do with the child, and now I think has a relationship with the child. So I think over time.
It's never the child's fault that you were an idiot.
But then sometimes they don't come around. I do know stories too of a dad that just does not want anything to do with the kid, and that's really sad.
Not okay. Not okay.
Yeah, don't do that. Honestly.
Well, guys, I learned a lot here today. Everybody be careful out there.
Yeah, but for real, like how are guys still so stupid in this?
Zach's gonna get a girl pregnant for sure.
Who?
Everybody here's taken. That's good. I like that. But Zach is going to get like...
He's with a girl. He's with an adult.
I think he moved on. He's...
Really?
Yeah.
Wait. Wasn't he with her like a month?
Zach's a traveling salesman.
Zach's the worst.
No, he's not.
He's the worst. He was the ultimate narcissist, so...
Oh.
But he wasn't he was not an exploitative narcissist. He was like a self-confident narcissist. Anyway, let's continue.
How ironic.
We have a new... What's our next category?
It's biggest fake friendship.
Oh.
Biggest fake friendship.
Us.
Yeah, we were on there.
Oh, we are?
I don't think we're fake, though.
We're really good at...
I don't think so, but sometimes I get the vibe that you think so.
Yeah, you know what I think it is in comparison to? Like when you do trick someone into having a baby with you and eventually they come around and it becomes a family.
That's what happened here?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, we kind of like, okay, we'll fake it or whatever, and then like now we're...
That was never my intention to come out here and fake anything, just to be clear.
Can I just say I dated Moses just to rub it in your guys' face, and now we're freaking engaged and bought a house. So.
Well, I'm glad you said that, which explains why there was so much friction. But...
That was early on.
Stupid. You dated Moses to rub in my face?
I was so excited to come back. This was
I guess it backfired.
On who?
On your plans, I guess. Not.
I know. I was gonna be like, haha, I fucked your brother.
Oh.
Stupid.
I mean, I still can say that on the daily.
Gross.
Wow.
Stop.
Nut inside.
Stop.
But don't have to trick him, so you should applaud me for that.
I applaud nothing.
Consensual.
All right, play the video, for Christ's sake.
Biggest fake friendship.
Okay, let's see.
The Vlog Squad.
Yes.
That was probably really good, to be honest. I wonder how many episodes we make before this whole thing is burned to the ground.
James Charles and literally anyone else.
We've been texting back and forth, hanging out with each other behind the scenes as well.
Behind the scenes.
James Charles for
So,
sure.
let me think here.
That's a small category.
People are not going to vote for the Vlog Squad because they love them.
They're white.
I don't know that factors
You're
in.
Jewish, so you're like our minority in this, so we kind of have a...
I think people are going to vote for us. And then what was the other one? Charles and literally anyone. That one might win too.
That's so funny.
That's the truest, probably.
I don't think we have a fake friendship, but people are going to vote for us for the meme, I think.
I think we started that way. And
I never faked anything, Trisha. where there's never any collusion about faking liking each other, weird shit.
I faked a little bit at the beginning.
That's fine. I'm just saying I didn't. Okay, drum roll. Biggest fake friendship goes to, wow, with a resounding. This is the biggest margin by far at 72.9%.
Whoa, 72?
James and literally anyone else.
Yes.
And Trisha, I'm so flattered that we came in last place with
Wow.
12.5%.
Aw, people know.
That really surprised me. And then Vlog Squad even beat us out at 13.7. But James really absolutely smashed this category. I actually thank you guys for voting us last. I'm actually touched by that.
They could see past it. They're like, that's some love.
That's really nice.
Thank you. And the
We need an
Vlog Squad
award.
is
We need
irrelevant.
here. This one's for here. I'm gonna steal one from some. Okay,
We should keep ours.
James. We have 2 awards for you.
Oh, I have one. Shit.
The
Damn.
biggest, the fakest friend of
Wow.
2020
He so is. Everyone's his best friend. We are best friends behind the scenes.
until they lose clout.
Sisters.
James, we love you. This is an anti-James Charles podcast all the way.
I feel like James would make a perfect horror like film, like sisters, I see you, sisters. You're not folding the toilet paper correct. Multiple layers, sisters. I see you. I see what you're doing. Yeah, he'd be like such a good horror film character.
Just the name of our podcast.
Okay, and then we have
We've got 2 more.
2 more.
So the next one is account ban of the year.
Oh, this one is really good.
Ready for this? I think this might win.
I don't know. You're up against really stiff
No.
competition.
This sucks though, because like when you don't win, that just means like you're not relevant. Like no one cares about the Vlog Squad. David's
No,
relevant, but no one
but
else
you
is.
lost your Instagram. Some people lost like their entire livelihood.
Right, Instagram was kind of like flailing.
It's not
anyways.
that big of a deal.
And I was at 2.2 million for 4 years, so I was shadow banned anyways.
Right. Because you're posting like your titties.
Did you help me get? By the way, my back bounce.
Well, you said they're going to bring it back in 30 days.
Someone told me today because I had someone else help me that has a connection there, and they said it was permanently disabled, just deleted. Don't you have connections? I thought you had connections. You have all people.
Well, you said they'd be back in 30 days, so I was like, okay, they're not going to reverse that, but I can send an email. But if they ban, I think they're clamping down hard on people who promote OnlyFans.
How do you get a fucking YouTube representative email? How many millions of guys? Can you get me up to 1 million subscribers so I can get a YouTube? I want a YouTube representative. Guys, get me more subscribers so I can have a YouTube representative. Can you imagine? I'm like, let me call YouTube. You know, come on. I'll make you guys old nepo babies. Subscribe so I can have a YouTube representative.
But I wasn't promoting OnlyFans. You know what it was? I promoted Adam and Eve, but like, I didn't know that was like because I stopped promoting OnlyFans. They gave me warnings. I was like, let me stop it on Instagram, and so I stopped. And then the Adam and Eve, I guess you can't. It's just anything sex related, you can't promote.
I'll email them, but I think you're fucked. Because like, there's people like Belle Delphine never got hers back.
Well, hers was like really raunchy. Like mine's not raunchy anymore. Like I literally posted the lingerie of Adam and Eve, and I was like, fuck. But I made sure my nipples were covered. Like I was pretty good about it. But it's fine.
I'll write them an email.
Trisha Paytas backup is my second one. Ela follows me on there, and you do not.
I didn't know you had a backup.
Well, you do now, so can you follow me?
Sure.
Oh my God, Trisha.
That's where we had to announce our engagement. I got deleted the week of our engagement. I was like,
Oh, was that the big
shit.
announcement you were?
Yeah.
Because that would have been a great post.
I know. It was a good post. I got 80,000 on my back.
Wait, you said, dude, it has to be a partner to have one? I'm a YouTube partner. Everyone's a YouTube partner. I made a YouTube partner originally when you had to apply, and it took 8 months to get a message back. My account says YouTube partner on it. What does that mean? Aren't I a YouTube partner? But only top 1% have it? Okay, well then fucking subscribe so I can be top 1%, bro.
Backup count, 80,000 likes. So.
Oh, 80,000? That's a really good way to launch your backup because people are like, oh, it's Trisha.
Right.
Banger. Right.
At least can I get verified on that
Did you know that there's like a ton of TikTok videos of that clip where I make fun of your vocal fry?
Wow.
I see it like so many
Really?
times where you go, and I go, right.
People love us on TikTok. We're kind of everything
Yeah,
there.
I see this a lot. It makes me really happy. I always liked it. I go, sick.
You stopped TikTok. You gave up on TikTok.
It's just so hard because I want to make a good TikToks, and it's just so hard.
Not me. I just throw up whatever. It's like the name of the game on there. I just like throw up anything and hopefully I do it like looking ugly. Like whatever.
I want to make more TikToks. It's just tough, man.
Did you see me singing Hebrew this morning on TikTok?
No.
Oh my God.
A lot of likes.
Yeah, I had like 100,000 when I came on here. Oh,
What?
wow.
What were the comments though? The comments must have been. No way. Nope.
Yeah.
Read me the comments right now. I'm pulling this up. There's no way that everybody's not clowning on you. I'm looking. I don't believe it. Hang on. These comments gotta be. Baruch atah Adonai Meluheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol amim.
Tap.
Yeah. What? Okay, wait, what? Everyone's saying they're impressed.
Thank you.
Why is this good though?
Mhm.
You actually sound good while they're like, you sound good in Hebrew only.
I'll take it. I'm gonna be an Israeli star.
This is too much. All right, we are talking about best.
Ani poetra ashaka shelcha.
Your pronunciation is so weird.
Ani poetra ashaka shelcha.
Shaka shell something you. Whatever. Who gives a
I
fuck?
promise to be with you forever and be like your peace.
Cool. Whatever.
Ba tohu ba ra through good and bad.
Let's do the cancellation.
Batohu
Everybody's
ba
waiting
ra.
for the cancellation.
Okay.
Dan, you know, you get so frustrated when we're slacking.
Of the year.
Okay, okay.
Trisha Paytas.
Wait, start over. I wasn't ready. I was slamming Dan.
Instagram account is this.
Count ban of the year. Trisha Paytas. Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram account is disabled. Yikes.
Belle Delphine. YouTube.
But over the weekend, we saw a massive
And
creator
Instagram.
banned from the platform, Belle Delphine. Hey, Team YouTube, why was my YouTube account terminated with no warning / no strikes for, quote, sexual content
she did.
when you allow and promote
Doesn't
songs
really
like
count.
WAP?
You got it back.
Disrespect.
This one's huge.
We'll get through this, okay?
Hey, Christopher.
This
It
one
was
was
huge.
announced that he is permanently, forever banned.
Nikocado Avocado. Instagram.
Rude.
These guys are so weird.
Leafy. YouTube and Twitch.
Whoa. Am I already banned? Bro, I'm already banned.
Oh, he should win. That's a good quote.
Yeah, Leafy is
Great
definitely a,
editing on this. Honestly, give whoever this was a raise. Whoever edited
Ian.
this is really good editing. I'm like,
Thank you.
yeah.
like it's really
you did good.
entertaining with the
Yeah.
with the, so I like that.
So, account ban of the year. This is a huge, prestigious award. For me, it's got to be between Dr. Disrespect and Leafy.
I did not know Dr. Disrespect.
Wait, are we voting? Is it the vote for the best account cancels? Account cancel of the year. I don't. Leafy was pretty funny. He just got decimated. Fuck Dr. Disrespect, but he's back.
I barely know Leafy, but I knew about Leafy. I did not know about Dr.
Because, like, those are huge. Like, these guys.
Yeah. Leafy's come for me. He called me a piggy a bunch of times.
Yeah, well. You won't be doing it now.
He's banned.
All right, drum roll. Account ban of the year 2020. The winner, by a very close margin, is Leafy. Leafy, who lost it all. He was banned on YouTube and Twitch.
I don't think he ever rose from the dead after that, right?
So that's his livelihood. That's what
He's
you're talking
pretty
about?
much, yeah, he's pretty much off. He's like Alex Jones, like, see ya. You know what I mean?
Like, could you imagine messing up on YouTube so bad that happens? Like, how embarrassing. Like, when Sneeko got deleted and all these, like, how shitty of a person you got to be that YouTube's like, man, we can't even, like, you make money from you, even though we could make money from you. Like, damn, bro.
This is another reason everyone needs to get married so you have stability as an influencer. Like, if I fall off, this one has a degree.
Yeah, but what's the chance that Leafy doesn't marry a deadbeat? How's he going to marry anyone with a career?
Shit, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Leafy is a winner. Congratulations to Leafy. Dr. Disrespect, very close second, very close, with 23.5%, which I think makes sense because Leafy lost like everything. Dr. Disrespect is streaming on YouTube at least. Trisha, you came in third, close
Oh,
third.
this is when he got banned on Twitch. So this is when Dr. Disrespect got banned on Twitch for sexting a minor, but we didn't know that that's what happened. Do you remember? And now we know in the present tense that he messaged a minor.
21.5%.
My Instagram that was shadow banned. Everyone's like, poor Trisha.
We had a write-in, Paris Hilton and Gabby DiMartino. I don't know. Who those
Perez
people are.
Hilton lost his TikTok. Not only did he lose his TikTok, he created 2 more TikTok accounts and they banned those.
Yeah, you can't.
He had his mom create one and his sister create one under like Perez Hilton News and they banned those.
Never liked Perez Hilton. Trash.
Dumbass.
I was like,
I don't know anything about him, but dumbass. Congratulations, Leafy. We'll definitely be getting you an award, Best Band Creator of 2020.
Wow.
You may not have any accounts, but you will have this award.
That's something.
You may not have a career
Did he have
or any income.
Didn't he disappear though? He disappeared for a
Yeah,
while.
he came back.
Oh. No one
And then apparently he made another account where he tried to do a Keemstar thing where he's like, a company hired me to do this. And he keeps like banned.
Oh, but that's good for me. Like, you're like my insurance. So if I get banned, I'm like, I'm just a host on the A Street podcast channel.
Why would you get banned?
I don't know. I literally don't do anything. No one cares about me anymore. I just eat
Yeah,
food.
yeah, don't worry about it.
But that's why I
Well,
have
it didn't work. He got banned.
and I keep this.
Chat says I thought Paris Hilton was a she. Paris Hilton is a she. I said Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton is a gay drama celebrity content creator who got kind of famous during the Prop 8 stuff, I believe. And Perez is a play off of Paris Hilton's name, right? Chat says, Britt, do you think there's a correlation between clout, wealth, and liking minors? And what is that? I think a part of it is power, right? A part of it is power. A part of it is insecurity. A big part of like why people seek power is well, it could be all kinds of things. But I actually think this says it all.
Guys, I'm just telling you right now that
I think this says it all for some people. Here, check this TikTok out. Sermon clip from 2024. This is Pastor Mark Hartman's advice to men about how to find a wife. So this is a church man.
guys, I'm just telling you right now, that's how you do it. You go so young, they don't know any better than to go with you. That's it. Guys, I'm just telling you right now, that's how you do it. You go so young, they don't know any better than to go with you. That's it. Guys,
So I just think that human beings are these little evolved animals over time, and procreating and making partnerships and having babies is that biological experience, but you can have a deeper, more meaningful biological experience. But you have to be taught, you have to be brought up, you have to be told. Myron said, there's always there's always women turning 18 every day. Girls are turning 18 every day. There are plenty of options. That's what he said. Girls are turning 18 every day. There's plenty of options, right? So with peace and love, values over loyalty. With peace and love, if these men who have these beliefs now want to deconstruct those beliefs, I would love to see them do that. And I think they can change. But as long as you hold those beliefs that new girls turn 18 every day, we don't need to be talking. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like the way that I think about it is that I do think that young people are a target of adults who are traumatized and stunted. Academics. FD just made a great video on academics. Academics was teasing and berating this 15-year-old kid, right? Like, not because he wanted to necessarily be intimate with the kid, but because they want to put kids in these situations where these kids have to grow up fast. And FD made a really great video. You guys got to check it out. It's really great. It's on Side B's, his Side B's channel. Great video. I'll link it in the chat. And I think people are forgetting that men are experiencing sexual assault in ways that people aren't counting because they can't process it that way. Like, please, FD, hold on. Like coming into your own age, growing up. How many men brag about getting their boys strippers or prostitutes for their first sexual experience, right? As teenagers. So I think that an enjoyment of minors exists across all spectrums and exhibits itself differently. It's about usually living through that minor's experience as well, right? Look at Trisha, who says, I thought about adopting a kid because kids just love you so much. It's like, that's a form of exploitation of young people. We just don't count it as that. We just don't count it because we don't think about it. Or having children so they can help you raise your other children. That's exploiting children, but we don't think about it that way because on a spectrum, it doesn't seem as bad as somebody who sexually abuses a kid. It's all bad. And you're right, it's not on the same spectrum, but it certainly can impact your kid for the longevity of their life. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to harm reduce. So if we want to harm reduce, we have to take a case-by-case basis. But yeah, most of y'all are not meant to be parents. Most of y'all are not ready to be parents. Most of you are not healed enough to be parents, let alone mentors, I just did Ultimatum. I'm going to edit the video tonight and get it up for you guys ASAP. But in this episode of Ultimatum, everyone keeps talking about wanting kids. None of you are ready to be adult enough to have children. Y'all are literally on a show called Ultimatum. And you're sitting here like, I want kids. I can't wait to have kids. I want a family. What do you want kids for? What do you want to bring a whole kid into the universe for when you can't even figure out what you're doing? But human beings are like these little creatures that are following this biological urge. I don't blame you. I think everything that a human does is its nature. That's humans are going to human. But I do think you can have a deeper, more meaningful, community-based, individual-based relationship with self so you can harm reduce. It's not about being perfect. But it is about acknowledging like all the ways our parents failed us, our elders failed us, society failed us, and all the ways we're about to fail ourselves if we don't break that generational curse. Just because everybody else failed you does not mean you need to now fail yourself. But you have to learn that first. Because how would you ever know better if that's all you've ever been taught? So if you think you're smart and resilient, you better break some generational curses. You better make an effort. I don't like seeing people who say they're smart and resilient not be able to control their lives. Not the life around them, but their life. Not the world. I don't ever think you can control the world, but I mean your life. You better wake up every day happy and go to bed every day happy if you think you're smart and resilient. Because I know you can be, but I don't think you're there yet. I think a lot of people think they're a lot smarter than they are, but all they do is complain about their life. And that's why they vote for Trump. And that's why they don't do anything with their life, because it's easier to complain than to get up and go do something when the world seems so big and suffocating. But it's not happening to you right now. If it's happening to you, it's different, right? When bad things are happening to you directly, that's different. Like Palestinians and people in the Congo are having things happen to them directly right now. People in the United States are having certain things happening to them right now. If you're not one of those people, stop acting like you are and do something about it. Because it might be your turn one day and you better have a network to call when that shit happens. Because the one thing about being rich and powerful in this country is it really does let you pay your way out. I think that's what scares me more than anything, not having resources, is knowing how important they are when shit hits the fan. So what's the point of living in a world where like you don't even have any? I don't get it. Like I don't get the lack of self-interest. You know, how can we talk about the world being better when you don't even have a self-interest in yourself? And this includes parents who put their kids in harm's way of being in charge of like of being around adults who are bad for them. How can we talk about protecting kids when you're putting your kids in modeling and acting? What are we talking about? I want to protect my children when you're letting them hang out with adults. You know what I mean? Like you're not even protecting your kids against their own relatives. It just, I don't know. I think people are, I can't blame them because it's just how humans are. But I think like I can mourn the lives that have been impacted by our own ignorance and our continued ignorance, including myself. My continued ignorance will hurt people. It's just how life goes, you know? Okay, let's finish this out. We're like 10 seconds away.
Says my job security. That's why we're going to be.
Excellent. We love it. And now I think our biggest and final category. So here we are at our final category, the biggest one, the most hotly anticipated category of the night. What is the category, Ian?
This is most dramatic.
Most dramatic.
Trisha for sure.
Creator of
We had the
2020.
most nominees for this category, the most diverse nominees, the most.
There was, I mean, the stiff competition this year.
It was.
Is this the first episode where Trisha actually did like, she actually participated beforehand so she knew what was coming? Isn't she so different when she knows what's happening? You know how in every episode Trisha's like, what are we doing? What's this episode about? I don't get what I'm doing here. But notice in this one, she took the quizzes beforehand so she knows what's coming. So she's like prepared and she seems more on the same footing as Ethan. See what happens when you do your homework, girl?
Let's go ahead and review the nominees, please, Dan. Thank you.
Let's do it.
Most dramatic creator. Jaclyn Hill.
Uh-oh.
Austin McBroom. Gabby Hanna. Jake Paul. Logan Paul. Trisha Paytas.
It's hard to top that.
James Charles. Jeffree Star.
Wow.
These are your nominees.
Wow. I gotta say, I think you're a shoe-in because that competition doesn't look that stiff.
I think it's safe to say I'm the most dramatic. I try to start beef with everybody.
Yeah.
True.
You know, I took a leaf out of your book recently, and I think you know, but I went like all in for David Portney. I was like, fuck
Oh.
this guy. I'm gonna fuck this. This guy's such a
An
dude.
odd beef to start. He's
Yeah.
not super relevant. Maybe start with someone like a little more
Why, he's
Trisha said he's not even that relevant.
popular.
not popular enough where people are going to get behind it. You gave him more views. We're the most viewed episode was me on the BFF. So
That's so
let's go.
funny.
Most dramatic. Let's get a drum roll, please, people. Most dramatic creator, and the winner is by an overwhelming majority, 47.1%. Trisha Paytas! Wow. You won.
That's great.
Most dramatic
Yes.
creator of the year. They love you. They really love you. And we have a very own frenemies style.
Oh my God.
Rhinestone
Did they know? They knew she was going to win, bro. Let's go.
steamies presented to you. We're going to have to get this engraved.
That's beautiful.
For Trisha Paytas, most dramatic creator of 2020. Congratulations. Wow.
Wow. Amazing.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this year. 2020 Steamies have been an absolute pleasure. Congratulations to all our winners. Congratulations, Trisha.
Yeah.
And congratulations to you guys. We made it out of 2020. Let's all go have a great year. I'm your host, Ethan Klein.
Trisha Paytas.
All right. Ta-ta. Thanks for watching.
Wow, beautiful, guys. Truly a masterpiece, an absolute gorgeous masterpiece. Oh my gosh, wow. Well, you know, yeah, wow. She did look very happy. I agree. She did look actually very happy. She was very different this episode, which is going to be interesting. Next episode is episode 16, Frenemies is Under Attack. We'll get to that tomorrow. I think I should go now. I've been fighting these chronic headaches for weeks now. I really should go to the doctor and figure them out. But, you know, don't pressure me. Don't pressure me or I won't go. My PDA will get triggered. Don't tell me to go to the doctor. Use reverse psychology. Say, don't go to the doctor. And then maybe I will. But also, I need to edit that episode of Ultimatum for you guys and get that up. So let's call it a night here. We'll come back tomorrow. Watch Frenemies is Under Attack. Thank you guys for being here. Great conversation. Very interesting episode to see Trisha so happy. You know, yeah, fuck going to the doctor. Exactly. Guys, don't say that. I should go to the doctor. Don't say fuck going to the doctor. You know, don't you dare go to the doctor. You know what? Don't tell me what to do. I'll go to the doctor if I want to go to the doctor. Okay. I'll go to the doctor if I want to go to the doctor. How about that? Huh? Free, like I literally have like basically free healthcare and I'm literally like, I don't want to leave the house and go to the doctor. I will go. I have to go. I'll do it. Okay, just let me one thing at a time. This is how I know I'm truly autistic. I was like, I don't want to go outside. Okay. Anyways, okay. That's it. We did it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. You know, yeah, true. Headaches aren't worth a trip to the doctor. I'd say away. Exactly. Thank you, Maiden. Oh, and just a heads up, guys, since Maiden's in chat, just remembered our panel is end of February for the girls and I are back. We have guests. 2 guests are going to be joining us for Kevin Can Go Fuck Himself review. And so if you guys want to start catching up right now on Netflix, there's a show called Kevin Could Go Fuck Himself. It's 2 seasons. Binge it right now. You have a month to binge it before our panel next month to go over the show. So please binge the show beforehand so you know what's going on while we discuss it. And I will see you with the panel next month. We're back for the new year. We're very excited. We tried to come back in January, but girl, my schedule was crazy busy. So we're back in February. We're here. We're queer. Let's go. Very exciting stuff. All right. Thank you for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow you'll be gay. Is the panel on the main channel or members only? Main channel. We do this on a monthly basis usually. Panel will be on the main channel. It usually is on a weekend though. It's on a Saturday? Sunday? Saturday? I don't know. I will post it in the Discord, but it will be on the main channel. It'll just be on a weekend. Okay, bye. Love you.